Hello and welcome back to another Football Commentaries live stream. To see off the end of 2023, we have the great and most historic fixture in Scottish football as Celtic take on bitter rivals Rangers at Celtic Park in a Scottish Premiership game which could turn the tide in the title race campaign. The Celtic come into this game off the back of a 2-0 away win at Dundee on Boxing Day, which puts them on 48 points. But 2 wins from their last 4 at home is seen form that Celtic fans aren't used to at Celtic Park. For Rangers, they are in terrific form, coming into this Old Firm derby, unbeaten in their last 17 in all competitions, which includes 14 victories. It has put them on the tail of Celtic as they are now 5 points behind them in the league with 2 games in hand. The first and only meeting between these two so far this season as it was a 1-0 victory for Celtic at Ibrox. A Kyogo stunner on the stroke of half-time gave Brendan Rodgers a first win back in this fixture since his return to Celtic this summer. So, for the final fixture for both of these teams before the new year, can Celtic make it 2 wins from 2 this season against the Gers, or can Rangers get their revenge and cut the gap at the top of the table to only 2 points? It's always a very tasty fixture, this one. I always enjoy watching the Old Firm derbies, and I'm quite glad I'm one who quite enjoys them being played very often within a campaign. You know, they play each other, 5-6 times depending on cup runs and everything like that, and it's always a really interesting game. This one's at Celtic Park. There are no away supporters in this game. That was the same as the last one at Ibrox. There was no Celtic supporters at that one, and there's no Rangers ones today. It's over 60,000 capacity and it'll be full of Celtic supporters, and you might say that could have an effect. That might have a positive effect for Celtic, but like we just said, Ibrox had no Celtic supporters in the last Old Firm derby, and Rangers went on and lost that game 1-0. So it should really only have a positive effect for Celtic, but Rangers are on such a good run. Celtic are not on the greatest run of all time. They've got 2 losses from their last 5 in all competitions. Rangers are on a run of 7 wins in a row, which includes a cup final win as well against Aberdeen. So, everything kind of turns the tide towards a Rangers win, but the fact that it is at Celtic Park, where they usually are so good at home. Celtic, you might remember recently that they lost a league game at home, and it ended a 52 unbeaten league run. 52 games unbeaten at home. That's a ridiculous record. That came to an end, and then they also lost back-to-back league games for the first time in over 10 years. So little records like that kind of being broken are not things you really want to break at this time of year when Rangers are on such a good run, but runs like that can't last forever, and that is ridiculous. 52 league games unbeaten at home. Brilliant to see your subscriber count going up. Thank you very much. What's the reasoning for that then? I think it's safety. I just think it's, that's the only thing I can put it down to. I don't know for sure, but, because it is a very, very tense fixture, this one. It is on the pitch and it is off the pitch as well. So, my only guess is safety, but I don't know. Just trying to segregate them and keep them segregated, going into the ground. It's more, I think, once they're in the ground, that's probably the easier part, because you can separate them quite easily. But then, that loses more seats, because when you separate teams, you kind of have barriers, don't you? And you have things over seats. So that's my only guess. It was the same in the last fixture. And in all honesty, I don't think either team want that. I mean, I don't know. That's just my thinking. If I was a supporter and there was no away fans in such a big game, I just think it'd be a little bit, not rubbish obviously because it's such a big fixture. I'd just rather have away fans. That's just what makes football great, having both fans in the stadiums, giving it back and forth. Obviously there's a line, I understand that it can go too far, and obviously don't agree with that, but at the end of the day, safety comes first. And if these two clubs, or Celtic or whoever, the league believes that the fixture's better off with just home supporters, and that's the way it goes, and that's the way it's going to be. But I don't think that'll detract from the fact that this is going to be a fantastic game of football. And you know what? With this Rangers team that I've been watching the last few weeks under Philippe Clement, the new head coach that came in October, I think they'll enjoy this. I think they'll enjoy having to come to Celtic Park, no support of their own, not underdogs in a sense, because I think it's an even fixture this time, but just that underdog kind of feeling. They're coming here on their own, backs against the walls. Celtic are probably going to come at them with their home support. I think they'll quite like the fact that they'll be just they have a real chance to cause an upset at Celtic Park and send these home support home disappointed and worried that the fact that Celtic are going to be right behind them. Like I say, Celtic are on 48 points, Rangers are on 43, but Rangers have 2 games in hand. Rangers' last game that they were meant to play against Ross County was postponed, so they do have 2 games in hand on them, even after today, obviously, because they're both playing each other. So, and then that if they were to win today, that would put them 2 points behind, and then if they win the 2 games in hand, that'd put them 4 points ahead of Celtic. It could be a real momentum swinger, this one. Celtic really could do with winning. I don't think it's a must-win for Rangers, because even if Celtic do win, they go on to 51 points. And then, Rangers win their 2 games in hand. That puts them 2 points behind Celtic. So they're still right on the tail. I just don't think Celtic would like the fact that Rangers would have the control in the league if they were to win today. But they've got to put up with this very famous Celtic Park atmosphere. And they'll be well up for this one. The early kick-off at 12:30. We'll go through both teams now in a little bit more detail. Like I say, you can see them on screen, but I'll give you the lineups of a few stats dropped on a few of the players. And in goal for Celtic, which the team will start with, it is Joe Hart in goal. He's playing his 20th game in the Scottish Premiership this season. He's conceded 29 goals so far this season in all competitions. At right back is Alistair Johnston, with the left back being Greg Taylor, once of Rangers but was released for being too small. Stephen Welsh and Liam Scales will be the 2 centre halves today for Celtic, with a midfield 3 of Callum McGregor, the captain, Matt O'Reilly, who's making his 99th appearance for Celtic, and Paolo Bernardo, a loanee from Benfica. He scored his first goal for Celtic in their last game against Dundee away from home on Boxing Day. And front 3 on the left is going to be Luis Palma, who is signed in the summer from Aris Saloniki in Greece. On the right is going to be Dyson Maeda, who's got the 2 goals so far this season in the Scottish Premiership, and they've both been away from home. And leading the line, the man who loves to score against Rangers, it is Kyogo. He's got 6 in 10 against Rangers. He got 5 last season against them, which is a fantastic record, and he'll be looking to add more goals to that tally come the end of today's game. For Celtic, they make the one change from their last game, which was a 2-0 away win against Motherwell. In goal is Jack Butland, who's played in every single game so far this season, as this is game number 33 for Rangers. Today, back 4 of captain James Tavernier, 2 centre-halves of Connor Goldson and Liam Balogun, and the left-back is going to be Ridvan Yilmaz, who's making his 4th appearance against Celtic. It's his 2nd start against the side today. 2 holding midfielders is going to be Dujon Sterling, who's been playing in midfield since the bit of an injury crisis that Rangers have fell upon in midfield, and he'll play alongside John Lundstrom, who is waiting still to score his first goal in an Old Firm derby. In behind the striker is going to be Todd Cantwell. The 2 wingers on the right is going to be Ross McCausland, and on the left is going to be the goal-scoring machine, Abdelasima, who has got 14 goals so far for Rangers in all competitions, 9 in the Scottish Premiership, and 4 coming in his last 5. And leading the line up front is going to be Cyriel Dessers, the man signed from Cremonense in the summer. He has got 6 goals in the Scottish Premiership, 2 in his last 3, and he'll be looking to replicate a similar performance like he did against Real Betis in their last Europa League game. You might remember that one. We commentated on it on this channel. He got a goal and an assist, Dessers, and he was absolutely superb up front. Can he replicate again coming up against Stephen Welsh and Liam Scales? I think he'll fancy that. I think Liam Scales this season has been absolutely fantastic, and he's starting his 90th game in a row in the Scottish Premiership. Scales for Celtic today, and then Stephen Welsh hasn't got a great record. The 23-year-old centre-half against Rangers, he's yet to beat them in any game. He started 4 of his 6 that he's played against Rangers, and he's never won against them. So that'll be cause for concern in terms of a personal record for Stephen Welsh, and he'll look to try and rectify that poor record. And there is Philippe Clement there, just shaking hands with the Celtic bench, as I don't think he's found Brendan Rodgers yet. But today's referee, the man in the middle, is Nick Walsh. He last refereed a game which involved Celtic in October against Hearts, and his last game officiated against Rangers was back in late November in their 1-1 draw against Aberdeen. As it looks like a fantastic atmosphere, all Celtic supporters, or the majority of them, have their scarves up in the air. As I mentioned before, if you weren't here for all that, all Celtic support today, no away support in the ground. Like I say, I don't know the exact reason, but I'm presuming it's for safety concerns because, like I say, this fixture can get tasty. He's got plenty of water for this game. You know what? Actually, personally, I don't actually have any. To be honest, it was a bit of a late get-up for me. I don't know if I look tired, and if I do, I apologise. But, yeah, I set an alarm, and then it went all wrong, and I woke up. I woke up earlier because a family member was going to Dublin, so I have dogs and they all barked, and I woke up, it was like 4 o'clock, and I went back to sleep. I woke up, I was like, oh God, don't be like 12:15, and then it wasn't, so we were okay. So, but, you know, this is going to be a mouth-watering fixture, it is. I hope it has, I mean, I say this about every game, but I really hope it has goals. Goals as a neutral is all you want. Let's hope it's not a tight and tense game, let's hope it's free-flowing, and the goals will come. Like I say, our last game that we commentated on this channel was Brentford Wolves, and we had 3 goals in 3 minutes in the first half. So, let's hope. Let's wait and see. It'll be Rangers kicking off with Todd Cantwell, kicking right to left. It'll be Celtic kicking left to right. We're waiting for the referee of Nick Walsh in the second Old Firm of the season. The whistle has blown, and we are underway. As the ball is with Dujon Sterling, he'll send a diagonal ball out to the Rangers left, looking for Seamer, who controls it well midway side. The Celtic half, he misplaces a touch. He goes out of play for a Celtic throw-in on this near side with their right back, Alistair Johnston. He misplaces a ball there from the return of the throw-in. Seamer over the top towards McCausland, just slightly overhit, and it can be collected by Joe Hart, who quickly throws it out to the Celtic left-hand side with full-back Greg Taylor, who's found himself into the Rangers half, playing it here to Kyogo, who goes over on the challenge of Connor Goldson, and it'll be a free kick for Celtic, and they play it quickly. It's Kyogo, tries to play a ball through into the box, but it's cleared by Lundstrom, who's looking there for number 33, Matt O'Reilly, as Walsh there deals with it. Scales, deals with Dess as well there, and here is Welsh playing a high ball over the top, down the left-hand side, headed away by Tavernier. It'll be a throw-in for Celtic, just under a minute in. It's Celtic trying to put the early pressure on Rangers here. And here is the left-back, Taylor. Still waiting to take this throw in here. He throws it down the line. Palmer heads it inside, cut out by Lundstrom. Cantwell goes over on the challenge of McGregor, and it'll be a Rangers free kick this time. Well won there by Todd Cantwell, trying to turn on Callum McGregor, but he quickly shut that door and took the former Norwich winger out. And interestingly enough, for Todd Cantwell, I was watching a golf video which he was a part of. It's on Golf Life, which has Jimmy Bullard on it, and they were actually talking about what is his favoured position, Todd Cantwell, and he actually prefers playing in behind the striker as a number 10, and that's where he's playing today, in behind Dessers. So we'll see if he can perform his magic from that position as Dujon Sterling goes over the challenge on the right-hand side, and it's going to be another free kick, and it's a given away again by McGregor. It's in towards the final third here on the far side, just went through the legs of McGregor and then took down Sterling. And Rangers have won a couple of free kicks in the opening encounters of this game. It is in the final third. It's on the right wing position. Yilmaz and Tavernier are over it, both Rangers fullbacks. Could we get the first shot on goal of the Old Firm derby? In it goes by Tavernier, headed away at the near post by Kyogo. Send back towards Tavernier, who'll play it to his left to Sterling. Across to Lundstrom in a left-back position here on the halfway line. He plays a first-time pass forward to Balogun, who can release it to Tavernier. Sprays it out to the left-hand side. He looks towards Seamer, who will get there ahead of Johnston and try and go down the line, but he's been pushed over. But the referee sees it's too weak of a challenge, and that'll be a throw-in for Celtic in a right-back position here in the defensive third. And it is with the Canadian Alistair Johnston, who's yet to taste defeat in this fixture for Celtic. 25-year-old fullback joined in January of this year from Montreal in the MLS. As his throw-in has been cut out here, and it's now Seamer on the left-hand side. He will see it through for a throw-in for Rangers. It'll be Yilmaz to take it. The Turkish left back. He goes back to Lundstrom, then back all the way into his own half here to Connor Goldson, who's got loads of time on the ball here. And he'll play a high ball down the right channel. He's looking for Tavernier. It's a fantastic ball. It finds Tavernier, who will first time cross it, and it's a wild one over the crossbar. It'll be a goal kick for Celtic. Should have done better there, Tavernier. It was a great ball by Goldson over the top. As Celtic are playing some nice football here. McGregor trying to burst through, cut out by a good slide challenge from Lundstrom. Forward by Sterling to Tavernier. Tries to turn forward and play a pass. It's been cut out there. And it's going to be a throw-in for Rangers just inside their own half. Tavernier to take the throw-in. Cantwell forward, looking for McCausland. Cleared up to Kyogo, who takes on Goldson and can't get away from Lundstrom on halfway. Good defending from the midfielder. And it'll be Balogun again. Send it down that right channel, looking for McCausland. Cut out by the head of Taylor. Helped forward by McGregor. In behind the Rangers defence. And he finds Kyogo on the left side of the box. On the tight angle. Towards the byline. He tries it. And it's had to be saved at the near post by Butland. And it's a corner on the far side for Celtic. Interesting ball in behind there. Caught out Connor Goldson. And Kyogo was sent away on the angle, so it was hard for him to get it on target, but he did force a corner, which has been taken into the box, headed into the air by Goldson. Still alive in the box, flipped on towards the far post. And it's dealt with here by Cantwell, who sends it towards the corner flag on the near side. Keeps it in. Todd Cantwell tries to dribble down the line, gets away from Kyogo. Good running from Cantwell, but then tackled by McGregor. Loose ball drops to Lundstrom, who goes inside to his right to Sterling. Midway side his own half. He looks out to the right-hand side. Lays it off here to Tavernier. It's now to the halfway line to Dessers, who's just dropped from the striker position to link up the play. And he finds Lundstrom, who sends it out to the left-hand side on halfway to Yilmaz. His touch is heavy inside. It's been picked up here by O'Reilly for Celtic. Forward to Maeda. Tackled by Balogun, but straight back to O'Reilly, whose ball over the top is a little bit misplaced there. Caught by Butland. Celtic possession. Thanks to everyone who's here. Could like and subscribe, that'd be fantastic. One more commentary to see off 2023, and that is Fulham Arsenal tomorrow at 2 o'clock. As Rangers play from their right-hand side, McCausland forced to go back here to Connor Goldson, who goes again, tries that ball over the top down the right-hand side, looking for Tavernier. That one was played out of touch, but that's definitely a ball that they've aimed for a couple of times already. There's a flick on by Palmer. Goes straight to Goldson in the Rangers half, at right centre half. Goes to his left here to the number 4, John Lundstrom, who did miss their last game against Motherwell, but he's back in today as his ball towards Seamer. He's been cut out by Johnston. Touch, poor, given away there by O'Reilly. And it's now with Cantwell. Tavernier down the right-hand side, finds McCausland, byline, cut back, deflects off Hart, Dessers, lays it off, Cantwell in the box, takes a touch, strikes with the left foot, that's boxed and then cleared by Johnston. First real big chance, drops to Rangers. I know Kyogo had that shot at the near post just beforehand, but I don't think he was ever going to squeeze that one in. That was a real chance, good run from McCausland. The cutback wasn't too bad. But it was dealt with by Celtic as the Cantwell shot didn't quite catch it there as Lundstrom wins another throw in there in the final third for Rangers on the near side. But it's his first ever appearance today against Celtic. Ros McCausland, he hadn't quite made the first team when they first played back in early September. There's a cross in the box towards the far post for Rangers. It goes all the way through here to Tavernier on the far side. Still in the final third. He's one-on-one here with Palmer, the Celtic winger. He goes inside towards Lundstrom. It's a bit of a short ball, and Lundstrom loses out. Chance here for an attack for Celtic. It's played into the path of McGregor. Passes the halfway line. He's got options to his right. He'll play it through to Maeda, who's one-on-one with Yilmaz. In the final third, misplaced touch. Yilmaz can clear. Deflects off Maeda. And then the second clearance from Yilmaz is then met by Dessers, who sends it down the left-hand side. Cut out there by, I think that was Welsh for Celtic, and it goes straight through to Jack Butland. Should have done better there. Dyson Maeda on the Celtic right. just got the ball stuck under his feet. His Rangers are playing out from the back. With right back Tavernier. Goes down the line to Sterling. On once more towards McCausland. He gets there ahead of McGregor. McCausland into the Celtic half. He's got Cantwell forward. Tries to complete a 1-2, but it drops straight into McGregor, who wins the ball back for Celtic. And it's out to the right-hand side here to Maeda on the halfway line. Just plays it back here. 5-yard pass to Johnston. And then across into Scales now, who goes forward to Bernardo. Now to Palmer. In the final third on the left-hand side, plays it back through to Bernardo, who keeps it alive, crosses, Maeda, touch, can't shoot, Sterling clears on the penalty spot, tries to find Seamer. It's won back, though, by Johnston, and it's now with McGregor, the captain. Taylor, out to the left-hand side to Palmer again, one-on-one with Tavernier. Enters the box, goes on the outside of Tavernier, puts a cross in, that's cut out at the near post by Goldson. He'll drop out to the Celtic left towards Taylor, who gets there ahead of McCausland. Can't quite work across here, Taylor. Lays it behind him to McGregor, who goes inside to Johnston, centre of the field. Works it out to the right-hand side here. To Welsh, who will cross it towards the far post. It's had to be kicked behind for a corner by Tavernier. Bit of Celtic pressure here as we're about to reach the 10th minute of the Old Firm derby. Luis Palma is stood over the corner on the far side. The Honduras international. Crosses it towards the near post, headed away by Yilmaz, straight back to Palmer, who took the corner. He dribbles towards the byline. It's punched away from Butland's cross, and it's flipped on by Lundstrom. It'll be picked up here by Greg Taylor. Out to the right-hand side here to Matt O'Reilly. Taylor's making a run, doesn't use it. O'Reilly keeps it, and he crosses it towards the far post, where it's been brought down by Palmer and cleared by Yilmaz. It's come out here to Bernardo. For Celtic, he goes back here to Scales to keep it away from McCausland. Scales now drops here to Palmer. Ball into the box, headed away by Balogun. Drops towards Cantwell, and he'll keep it away from McGregor momentarily, but then loses it to the Celtic captain in the centre circle. And Celtic can come again. Taylor, great ball out to the left-hand side. Chance here. Palmer again, met by Tavernier, but he'll have the time to cross the ball in. And it's flicked on at the near post by Bernardo. And it goes all the way through for a goal kick. That's a hell of a chance, that. Palmer in so much time and space there on the left-hand side. He's allowed to cross it by Tavernier, who didn't close him down. And as the ball went in, it was flipped on by Bernardo, and Maeda was the one coming in at the far post. Couldn't quite meet it. And it resulted in a goal kick for Rangers. Jack Butland with that goal kick. He goes long. Cut out there. Only as far as Seamer. Ball out to the right-hand side. Sorry for that noise. It's Rangers in their own half with the possession. Balogun. Ooh, Goldson plays it out to the right side. Just caught late there by Bernardo, who's very apologetic. He is going to be spoken to here by Nick Walsh, the loanee from Benfica. Paulo Bernardo does have an option to buy from Benfica. I couldn't quite find out what the fee is for an option to buy. He's not really been used too much. Only his 8th appearance in the league. They're excited too. They're too excited at 1:15. It's the problem. Sorry. Header away. On the edge of the box. One back though for Rangers and halfway with Goldson. Lundstrom. Out to the left to Yilmaz. Takes on Maeda. Great bit of skill from Yilmaz. Tries to find a ball in the box, but Dessers went one way, the ball went the other. Celtic win it back in their own half. Johnston's clearance deflects off Yilmaz and will run out of touch for a throw-in on the near side for Celtic, just inside their own half. Do apologise for the noise. When there's 3 dogs you've got, once one goes, they all go, and then you can't get them to stop. So do apologise, but hopefully you can't hear them now. As the throw-in goes to Bernardo, gets it back to Johnston over the top of Seamer for Bernardo, who takes on Cantwell on the Celtic right-hand side. To his left to O'Reilly. Once more to Taylor, who forces it to the wing of Palmer. Cut out though by Tavernier. Plays it forward quickly to McCausland, who is tackled very strongly there by Liam Scales. And that'll be a throw-in for Rangers. Taken quickly back to Tavernier on halfway. Back once more to Galton, midway side his own half. Turns away from Kyogo. Dribbles forward. High ball down the Rangers' right, but no one's making the run. Cantwell's asking, who's that to? Because it goes straight through to Joe Hart in the 18-yard area, who rolls it out to Scales. Plays it across to the right centre-half, Stephen Welsh, who's in today for a missing Carter Vickers. Scales has been forced back here to the 36-year-old Joe Hart, making his 27th appearance of the season. Actually seen a red card this season for Joe Hart against Livingston in late September. So he's missed one game in the Scottish Premiership, which was played by their backup goalkeeper, Scott Bain, against Motherwell. As he's on the edge of the 18-yard box for Celtic, with Welsh back into Hart. Just allowing a bit of possession here for Celtic, as they misplace a ball there. Sterling picks up on the right-hand side. Loads of room to run into. In the final third, he's got 3 in the box. He puts a low cross in. Dessers has it. Lays off for Cantwell, who rushes the shot and he doesn't quite catch it. Blocked and cleared by Johnston. He goes over the top of Ballingham's head, but can be picked up by a covering Goldson, who goes back to Butland. And he will go to his left here to Leon Balogun, the returning Rangers man, who loses it to Maeda. And thankfully for Balogun, it drops straight into the hands of Butland, who will roll it out quickly to Lundstrom on the Rangers' left-hand side. It's left back Yilmaz, dribbling past the halfway line, trying to go inside. He finds Seamer. His return ball to looking for Yilmaz is cut out there by Johnston. And it's back with Celtic on the halfway line with McGregor. To the right-hand side to Johnston. He's been forced to go inside to his left there to O'Reilly. Forward to Kyogo. Lays it off here for Palmer. To his left to Kyogo. Just dispossessed there by Tavernier. McCausland forward to Dessers. Back to Tavernier, then out to the right to McCausland on the halfway line. He's got options centrally, and he goes forward here to Cantwell. Got numbers over here, Rangers. Cantwell, edge of the box, onto his right foot, pokes it out to the right-hand side, but no one's making a run. And it'll be seen through here for Celtic, for Joe Hart with a goal kick. Just that decision-making, really. In that final third from both teams, haven't been great. Cantwell got it in a fantastic position. He's got to feed it through to Seamer. Instead, he tried to take on there Welsh. So Celtic have a goal kick down the left-hand side. Palmer has it. Back inside towards Taylor. Just about shifts it away from Cantwell, but the pass straight goes straight to Lundstrom in the centre circle. So Sterling on halfway, who's been brought down from behind there by Bernardo. And it'll be a free kick for the Gers as they take it quickly. It's a high ball out to the left-hand side, controlled by Seamer. What a touch that is. And he gets away from Johnston and then brought down on the edge of the 18-yard box. And that'll be a free kick and a yellow card for Alistair Johnston. And that's not what you want as a Celtic right back. You do not want to be on a booking against Abdallah Seamer. Just got beyond him there, Seamer. And as Johnson tried to tackle him from behind, he just caught the number 19. And that will be a booking for the Canadian. And it'll be a free kick for Rangers on the left-hand side. Great chance for a cross. Tavernier and Yilmaz again are the ones stood over it. Remember, Rangers didn't score a goal in this fixture. At Ibrox in September, they lost 1-0. Kyogo goal, second minute into the added on time at the end of the first half. "17.5 minutes in. Will it be the left foot of Yilmaz or the right foot of Tavernier? Two Celtic players are not behind the white line that has been given by the referee. So we'll eventually get the free kick taken. Tavernier, right foot, it's so poor. Headed away by Kyogo. Drops to the edge of the box to Lundstrom, who helps it forward. Drops to Balogun. His shot is completely wayward. And then Celtic can clear, but only as far as Sterling, who keeps it alive for Rangers in the Celtic half. Tavernier on the near side. Goes back to the halfway line to Yilmaz. Tries to play ball forward. It's cut out, though, by Bernardo. Headed backwards by Maeda to Johnston. Header inside to McGregor. Back to the right back, Johnston. Goes forward to Bernardo. Laid off here, back to Johnston at right back. On the halfway line. No apology needed. The dog is must be Rangers supporters. It's a ball over the top down the right-hand side. Can't quite find Maeda. Headed away by Balogun. Controlled by Lundstrom. Goes back to the left back. Yilmaz, who clears away first time up towards the halfway line. Header won there by Welsh. All as far as Seamer, whose pass is poor. Picked up by McGregor in the Rangers half. It's now with Greg Taylor, the left back. Palmer. One-on-one with Sterling. Enters the box. Tries to play it through towards Taylor. Cut out and cleared by Goldston on the edge of the 6-yard box, who gets up towards Dessers, who can win a throw-in, and he takes it quickly to Cantwell. Lays off to the halfway line to Sterling. Looking out towards the Rangers' left as he dribbles over and plays it forward here. In behind for McCausland, who can't quite beat Johnston to it, and he goes back to Hart, who clears it first time. Not a great clearance, intercepted in the Celtic half by Lundstrom. Lays it out to the left-hand side to Cantwell. Forward to Seamer. On once more to McCausland. Back heels it into the path of Seamer. Edge of the box, he strikes it. He just lashes at it in the end. High and wide. Goal kick for Celtic. Usually better at finishing than that. The Brighton loanee, Abdullah Seamer, who's looking for his 10th goal in the league today. There's a throw-in. Midway side their own half for Celtic. Ball played off McCausland from Taylor. So it'll be a throw-in for the Celtic left back, who was actually sent off in his first ever meeting against Rangers, Greg Taylor. As we do see Roy Keane there, present in the stands at Celtic Park. As it'll be another Celtic throw-in again, still inside their own half, on the far side. It'll be number 3, Greg Taylor, to take it. Bernardo goes across to the right here to Welsh, who plays it forward into the Rangers half here, which with O'Reilly, who's got Maeda in support, and he'll play it to him in the right-hand side. He gets it in the box, squares it, and Kyogo at the far post. So close to getting on the end of it, but I think the flag's gone up on Dyson Maeda. Great ball played through by Matt O'Reilly, and yeah, Maeda just gone early there. As I wondered why he got ahead of Yilmaz so easily, but obviously the offside flag went up. He's just a yard or so ahead of the Rangers left back. But I'm very surprised Kyogo didn't get on the end of that cross. Was hit with pace, in fairness. As under Philippe Clement, Rangers are still unbeaten. 16 games under the Belgian. 13 wins, 3 draws. 6 wins at home, 1 draw. Only conceded 8 goals under him so far. Butland sends it down the Rangers left, headed away by Welsh, only as far as Seamer, who ball out to the right-hand side will be... Could it be collected by Tavernier? No, it won't be. Just goes out of play in the defensive third for Celtic. As Greg Taylor takes the throw in quickly to McGregor. Chops past Cantwell, lays it off behind him here to Scales. Back once more to Hart in the 6-yard area. Goes to his right to Welsh. Forward to Johnston, who can take on Lundstrom and then get away from the challenge of Sterling. Johnston on halfway, playing it forward and through to Maeda, who takes a touch beyond Yilmaz, but can't get around him, and he'll be seen out for a goal kick. Good defending there by Rudvan Yilmaz, who seems to be dealing with Maeda decently so far. Not quite having the success in that right wing position so far. Dyson Maeda, as it's now with the right back Tavernier in the defensive third. He goes down the line, looking for McCausland. He keeps it for now, but then he loses it. Dispossessed. Chance for Celtic. Chance. Shot on the edge of the box. And it hits the side netting. Paolo Bernardo with the shot. He hit that with some power as it was given away by McCausland. And on the edge of the box, he struck it towards the bottom left corner. And I thought that hit the back of the net. Instead, it hit the side of the net and away for a goal kick. Looking for his second goal for Celtic. His first one came in their last game against Dundee, making his 3rd start in a row. Butland's goal kick out to the right-hand side towards McCausland, goes out of play on the halfway line. Celtic throwing for the left-back Taylor. Throws it inside to McGregor, brought down by the tackle of Cantwell. And that'll be a free kick for McGregor, about 15 yards into the Rangers half. As Callum McGregor wants to take this free kick quickly. Been at the club since 2001. Callum McGregor had one spell away from the club, a loan spell at Notts County in League One back 10 seasons ago, where he got 11 goals in 12 goals, in 37 League One appearances. But he's Celtic through and through. The captain is from the free kick. They've got it on the left-hand side with their left-back Taylor. Inside to Bernardo. Lays it off here to Palmer. Ball forward in the box, cut out by the head of Lundstrom. Picked up by McGregor. Deflects here down the Celtic left, dealt with by Lundstrom again. He goes back to Butland, who clears it first time. It's a high one up towards Dessers. He does flick it on, but no one's there for Rangers to chase it. And it'll be Hart in possession for Celtic on the edge of his 18-yard box. Now with Scales forward and out to the left towards Palmer. Nice flick to Bernardo. Midway inside the Rangers half on the far side. He goes inside to McGregor. About 35 yards away from goal. McGregor plays out to the right-hand side to Maeda. Goes to his left and refines McGregor. He's now on the left wing position with Palmer. One-on-one with Tavernier. He enters the box onto his right foot. He lays it off for Taylor. With his weaker foot he shoots. He wants a corner. And I think he'll win one. Corner kick given by Nick Walsh. I don't know if that did take a deflection. It looks like he just bobbled as he struck. Has he given a corner? He has given a corner. I don't know if that took a deflection. I mean, I'd have to see it again, but I thought that just bobbled as he struck it, and that's why it went over the bar there from Greg Taylor. But it'll be a corner on the near side. It'll be an outswinger from the right boot of Lewis Palmer, who puts the cross in. Headed away by Seamer, but only as far as Paulo Bernardo, who gets that second goal in his back-to-back games. And Celtic take a lead on the 25th minute mark. It's Paulo Bernardo as the fans go absolutely wild on the far side. Paulo Bernardo's hit the deck here. He's on the floor. Looks like he may have been injured from the absolute chaos caused by the Celtic goal. The advertisement boards fell to the ground. The cross went into the near post. It wasn't headed away well enough by Seamer on first time. Paulo Bernardo, about 14 yards out, all on his own, strikes it into the right-hand side of the goal. Absolutely no chance for Butland. It goes beyond him in a flash. It's great technique from Paulo Bernardo, who got his body over the ball to keep it down into the back of the net. It's 2-2 for the Portuguese midfielder on loan from Benfica. And after a slow start to his Celtic career, he's got 2-2, starting his third game in a row. And if there's a game that you want to score in to get on the Celtic fan side, it's the Old Firm, and that's what he's done. And Paulo Bernardo has been booked. And I think that's due to him celebrating with the Celtic fans, and that celebration just went a little bit overflow. Quite literally, the advertisement board fell. There was some Celtic fans on the edge of the pitch. I mean, I don't mind it, but I get for a safety concern that it can be quite worrying when an advertisement ball goes to the floor. But it is 1-0 to Celtic. Seamer not being able to deal with the corner. And it fell to Bernardo in the box, who was left all alone. And Bernardo there going into the home support. Yeah, jumping into them. Embracing the home support, which I have no problem with. But like I say, it did cause a little bit of support overflow on that far side. But that's the emotion of the game. That's why we play and watch football. As Yilmaz sends the ball forward for Rangers, cut out on the halfway line by McGregor, who's played it out to the right-hand side to Johnston. Back into their own half here with a ball to Stephen Welsh. He's only making his fourth appearance of the season. The Scottish centre-half, who only played 6 times in all of last season as well. So it does struggle for minutes in this Celtic side. As in the midfield, it is the goal scorer Bernardo down the line to Johnston, who will put an early cross in towards Maeda, flick towards the far post. It's flicked on twice. One by Balogun at the near post, then on by Tavernier at the far post to concede a corner. They've just scored from one on the near side and now got one on the far side. And I can't believe Paulo Bernardo was on his own there in the box as the header away from Seamer fell straight to the Portuguese midfielder. As it'll be an in-swinger this time from Palmer, who put the out-swinger in for the first one, and that one goes straight out of play for a goal kick. Overhit there, looking for the far post, and he's frustrated with himself there, Luis Palmer. He didn't play any minutes in the first Old Firm derby of the season, but don't think you can count that as an assist for him because his corner was flicked away by Seamer, but the header wasn't good enough, straight to Bernardo. But the good thing about the Bernardo goal was the fact he hit it first time. To keep it under control the way he did, getting over the ball, it was a fantastic right-footed finish. Butland sends the goal kick towards the Rangers left, headed away by by Welsh, helped forward by Bernardo, cut out by Balogun, ball forward, can't be brought down by Dessers, and it's now through to Welsh, played back to Hart in the 18-yard box, he's been closed down here by Seamer, finds Scales, who goes across to the right centre-half, Welsh, then forward down the right-hand side for the right-back Johnston, on the halfway line, he passes the halfway in the line, and he passes it out to the right-hand side, it's misplaced, can't quite find Matt O'Reilly, and that'll be a throw-in for Rangers. But interestingly enough, for Matt O'Reilly, he is currently being watched by Inter Milan. I've read, interestingly enough, which is quite the compliment for Matt O'Reilly, for sure, being linked with the Italian giants. Celtic have it here on their left-hand side. Final third, Yilmaz puts a cross into the box. It's a header away, but it's met by Tavernier, who finds Cantwell. Back out to the right to Sterling. On once more to McCausland in the final third, outside the 18-yard area. He crosses it with his left foot towards the far post. No one's there to attack it. Goal kick for Celtic. And right back Johnston has it. Tackled strongly but fairly by Seamer. It'll be a throw-in on this near side for Celtic, who take another lead in the Old Firm derby this season, this time through Paolo Bernardo. In the first Old Firm, it was Kyogo with the goal. As you remember, Celtic are looking to end Rangers' 17-game unbeaten run. This will make it 18 if they avoid defeat today. As Joe Hart has it, out to the left centre-half, Liam Scales, who scored last season against Rangers when he was on loan at Aberdeen in a victory. As he plays it down the left-hand side, looking for Palmer, chasing it, and gets there ahead of Tavernier, who kicks it away from him, and there'll be a throw-in for Celtic in the final third on the far side, as the Celtic fans are literally bouncing in delight as they lead 1-0 in the Old Firm derby. Thrown into Palmer, kicked away again by Tavernier, another throw-in for the home side. Throws it in towards to O'Reilly. Pushed over, but the referee doesn't see it as a free kick, and the O'Reilly touch goes out of play for a throw-in in the right-back area for Rangers. 14 minutes of the first 45 to play. In their 10th game for Rangers, they've just conceded their third goal away from home, as they've lost it from the throw-in. Another throw-in for Celtic, as it'll be Greg Taylor to take it. Just a misplaced ball there by Tavernier. And they've got a couple of options from the throw-in to aim for. Greg Taylor, as he's taking his time with this throw-in. Needs to hurry up here, and he eventually throws it into Palmer. He goes back to Greg Taylor, as he went back to Greg Taylor. It just took a nick off Ros McCausland, and it'll be a throw-in again for Celtic on the far side. Thrown into the 18-yard box. Not dealt with here by Lundstrom. O'Reilly trying to work some space, and he finds a pass back to Palmer. Squares it. Kyogo drops against O'Reilly. Tackled by Tavernier. It needed to be tackled. And he clears it long here, Tavernier. Dessers will chase it, who's been all alone up front. Dessers will chase. He'll keep chasing, but it's dealt with well there by Welsh. He finds Scales, his centre-back partner, who goes out to the right-hand side into the Rangers half with Johnston. Got Seamer on his back, and he plays a misplaced ball to Dessers. Rangers are in. Dessers, he's got Cantwell to his right. He all alone in the box. Dessers, he took so, I can't even speak. He took too long. And he's tackled by Hart. What a chance that is. It was gifted by Johnston as he's passed back towards Welsh, was cut out by Dessers. And as he entered the box, he just needed to pull the trigger. He took far too long. Hart came out. And Johnston from behind was able just to take the ball away from him. And what an opportunity that is for Cyriel Dessers. As Rangers just had a bit of defensive work of their own in the other half. But Dessers with an absolute gift. And I don't know why he's not took the shot on early. Does look like Welsh is down here from that error. It was Johnson's pass back, which went short towards Welsh. And it looks like he hit the deck there. Welsh, and he looks like he's hurt his shoulder. I just can't believe Dessers hasn't ended up having a shot there on goal. I don't even want to know the reaction. Just slides in there, Welsh, trying to make up for the poor pass back from Johnston. And as he slides in, he stays down, obviously with a hurt shoulder. So I don't know if Dessers has maybe just caught him as he slid in, maybe catching his shoulder, or he's just slid in and he's maybe turned on his shoulder and he might have pulled his shoulder out. I have no idea, to be honest, but Cyril Dessers has got to be looking at that and thinking, how on earth have I not just put my team back to 1-1? He's been so isolated up front as well, Cyril Dessers. Like, seriously isolated. He's been up there on his own, and when you get chances like that, you've got to take them. He has got 2 in his last 3, as it looks like it is going to be the end of the game for Stephen Welsh. Like I said, he doesn't play very often for Celtic. This is only his 4th appearance of the season. It's his first start in the league, and he's going to have to be replaced here in the 35th minute by Mike Nawrocki, the Polish centre-half bought in from Legia Warsaw for £4.3 million in the summer. He's making his first appearance for Celtic in the league since game 2. So he's also been starved of minutes. It is usually Carter Vickers at the back for Celtic, who's out today. But that's not a great view for Stephen Welsh, as Rangers have got it on the left-hand side in the Celtic half. Goes back into their own half here with Lundstrom in a left-back position. Tries to get away from O'Reilly, from Bernardo. Kicked out of play. Throwing for Rangers on the near side. It's in their 18-yard box of Butland. Clears first time. It's a high one. Up towards Dessers. Flicks on towards McCausland. It's now Rocky to try and clear, but it comes off Dessers, but into the feet of Scales. So he gets away with that, the substitute, and it's now Greg Taylor on the left-hand side. Tries to find Palmer, headed away by Tavernier. Hooked away by Sterling, straight out of play for a Celtic, thrown in the Rangers half on the far side. Thrown quickly here to Bernardo. Ball through to O'Reilly. On the left-hand side, he crosses it, header off of Goldson, out towards Maeda on the right-hand side, in the box, dribbles outside the area as he's been followed there by Yilmaz, and then followed by Seamer, and he goes back to McGregor, who goes inside to Scales in the centre circle. He dribbles away from Dessers, tries to play out to the left-hand side. It's cut out by Tavernier. Forward to Dessers, who's on his own on the right-hand side. Not got much support with him. Plays it into the midfield to Tavernier. First time ball looking forward for Seamer. Cut out. And it's now with Celtic on the ball with Bernardo. Out to the right-hand side, looking for Maeda, who will chase it, and it will go out of play in a left-back position for a Rangers throw-in. So we do look at the half-time, look at the first half stats. Celtic have had 6 shots, 2 on target, 57% of the ball. And then Rangers have had 4 shots, but yet to test Joe Hart, and they should have done with Dessers a few minutes ago. There's a ball high over the top down the Rangers' right, cut out by the head of Scales, ahead of McCausland. It will be thrown on halfway though for Tavernier. Takes it quickly into Lundstrom, returns it back to Tavernier, then into Lundstrom again, who goes behind him here to Sterling. Back once more to Goldson. It's now with Jack Butland on his left foot, clears it forward into the Celtic half, in behind. McCausland will chase it, and McCausland will get there. What a chance! McCausland in the box, strikes it with the left foot. It's blocked before it can reach Hart, and it's cleared, but only as far as Tavernier. Forward to Cantwell in the box, first time shot, and then they test Hart, but it's straight at the English goalkeeper, and it's the first huge chance of the game for Rangers, and Cantwell should have done better. Given again by Celtic, but Rangers can't capitalise. Philippe Clement is going to be booked here for dissent. Celtic's just won a throw-in here on the near side, and he was heavily in the... He heavily thought that it should have been a Celtic... It should have been a Rangers throw-in, sorry. That's a big chance, that ball over the top, and the Celtic defence just went to sleep, which allowed McCausland in. His shot was blocked. But Philippe Clement obviously not happy with that throw-in decision on the halfway line as they throw it down the line. O'Reilly. Back into Johnston, dispossessed by Cantwell. Nice ball inside to his right to Seamer. Tackled though, won back though by Bernardo. Just a bit too slow, Rangers today, with everything they do. Everything's just a second too slow. His Hearts ball just about finds Scales as he's pulled down on the edge of the 18-yard box by Cyril Dessers, as he's absolutely fuming with that decision. And he might go in the book himself. No. Nick Walsh just keeps his cards in his pockets for that one. But Dessers definitely wasn't a happy man with that decision. As it is now Rocky, his ball forward, the substitute cut out by Lundstrom on halfway. Ahead of O'Reilly. Lundstrom still running with it down the left-hand side. He goes backwards here to Cantwell. Got McGregor on his back on the halfway line. He plays it backwards 10 yards here to Balogun. Then across to Galton, midway inside the Rangers half. Been forced to go back here to Butland. Goes to his left here to left centre-half Leon Balogun. He's got a 50% win rate in this fixture. 3 wins in 6. Balogun turns away from Maeda. Charging down the left-hand side. Pokes it forward for Seamer. And he will get there. Seamer tries to enter the box. But that's a great slide challenge there by Mike Narocki. And that'll be a corner on the near side for Rangers. Usually you'd have Seamer favourite to win that. But it was a good slide challenge from the Polish centre-half there. As when Balogun poked it down the line, he was caught late there by Matt O'Reilly. And the Danish midfielder has gone in the book here, Matt O'Reilly. Just was a little bit of a late one there on Leon Balogun, the Nigerian centre-half. On the near side, it's going to be a right-footed in-swinger from Todd Cantwell. Can they equalise before the break? They have had opportunities, Rangers. A majority of them have been gifted to them by Celtic, but they haven't been clinical enough. They haven't been ruthless enough. Can they get a goal now from a set-piece? Cantwell to cross this ball in with his right foot. It's got pace on it. It goes through and it's headed away to the edge of the box where it's cleared by Bernardo. Towards Lundstrom on halfway as he heads it out to the left-hand side. Cut out by Greg Taylor. No, he can't quite stop it from going towards Cantwell, who can't quite stop the ball going out of play himself. And that'll be thrown for Celtic on the near side. Midway side of their own half here. It's going to be taken by Alistair Johnston, who'd only played for clubs in Canada and America before making the move to Scotland with Celtic in January of this year, the 25-year-old right back. As he throws it down the line to Maeda. It goes beyond him and Yilmaz and cleared by Balogun, who's controlled by Cantwell, straight into the path of Lundstrom. Out to the right-hand side to McCausland, 25 yards from goal, 1-on-1 with Taylor, enters the box on his right foot. He's allowed to shoot! It's a big, strong right hand from Hart. Cleared only as far as Tavernier, who keeps it alive, towards McCausland. Tavernier again, chested it down in the area. Forced away from the 18-yard box by Palmer. Back to Sterling. Across to Lundstrom. Left-footed dink ball into the box. Seamer will chase it. He'll go towards him, and the last touch is off Seamer, and that'll be a goal kick. Really good attempt there from McCausland. Hit it low and hit it hard. And it's a really good save low by Hart. Strong right hand. Good save from the former Manchester City goalkeeper. As McCausland on his Old Firm debut, looking for a goal. But stopped there by Joe Hart, the 4-time Golden Glove winner in the Premier League. I think he's highly disrespected in this league. Not in this league, sorry. In English football. Joe Hart. Ooh, and as that ball went out of play, the referee thought it came off Seamer, but did it come off the hand of Johnston? It looks like he hits the ball away. This could be a penalty. We have got VAR. Seamer definitely didn't get a touch on that ball. Oh my days, he's play on. What? As that ball goes out of play, it looks like Johnston hits the ball out of play. Am I seeing things? That's a big call. Celtic play out from the back, edge of the box. Cantwell chasing down McGregor. And the referee will allow play to continue for now. McGregor still has it, as the linesman was getting on the pitch. I think the whistle had gone, but neither of them had heard. It's going to be a free kick for Celtic. I'm bemused by that penalty. I'm sure that hit the hand of Alistair Johnston. Well, we'll see it again at half-time. I don't know if that's just me seeing it wrong, but Johnston was trying to see it out. The referee thought Seamer had got the last touch, but that definitely came off the hand of Johnston. I'm sure of it. As we've got Joe Hart on the ball here for Celtic. 2 minutes till we've played the first 45 minutes. Scales has it. Left-footed ball forward. Cut out by Lundstrom on the centre circle as it's picked up by Bernardo. Sorry, by O'Reilly. Bernardo and O'Reilly look very similar. Keep getting them confused in the midfield. Do apologise. Halfway line, it is with now Rocky, the Polish centre-half, who's had to come on in the 35th minute for an injured Stephen Welsh. It's now with McGregor, looking for the switch out to the left-hand side. He goes over the head of Tavernier. Doesn't go over the head of Tavernier. Cuts it out of his head. Drops to the edge of the box to Bernardo. Out to the left-hand side here to Palmer. Forward in the box for Greg Taylor. Well cut out, though, by McCausland, who can clear as well. Up the field, up towards Dess as it's headed out of play, though, by Scales for a throw-in for Rangers on the far side. Midway side of their own half. Well defended there by Ross McCausland. Tavernier throws it back here to Connor Golson on the edge of the 18-yard area. Goes across here to Balogun in the 18-yard box. Closed down by Kyogo. Finds left-back Yilmaz. Takes on Maeda. Good bit of skill by the Turkish left-back. Down the line to Seema. Pushed down by Johnston. That'll be a free kick for Rangers. Taken quickly and plays it back to Lundstrom, who goes across to Goldson. Still in the Rangers half here. We're right back and captain Tavernier. Forward to McCausland. Inside to Sterling. Back to McCausland. Ball inside to Lundstrom. Good bit of football here from Rangers. Lundstrom's ball out to the right-hand side, though, cut out by McGregor. They force it out to the left to Palmer. Tackled by Tavernier. Loose ball drops to McCausland, who just about keeps it away from McGregor. And that'll be a free kick. McCausland caught late there by the Celtic captain. Driving inside there, McCausland. And, yeah, just caught late by McGregor. He's back to his feet, though, Ross McCausland, which is good to see for the Northern Irish winger. Don't know if a booking was given there, as we have hit the 45th minute here. Free kick for Rangers, about 15 yards inside the Celtic half. We've got 2 minutes of added on time here, as Celtic currently lead through Paolo Bernardo. From a corner that couldn't be dealt with by Abdullah Seema. And met just behind the penalty spot by Paolo Bernardo. Slammed it towards the top right corner. Beyond Jack Butland, as it looks like Tavernier will send this towards the 18-yard area. Tavernier will put it in there. Into the box it goes towards the far post. Goldson heads it on, but there was a push in the back there on O'Reilly. Maybe a free kick for Celtic. Bit sloppy there from Connor Goldson to give a free kick away. As Joe Hart takes it quickly, it's a big ball out to the left-hand side. Look for Palmer. Can't take it under control. Seen out for a throw-in for Rangers. As Tavernier throws it back to Goldson. We're playing a minute of the 2 added on. Back to Butland we go. On his left foot. Clears it down the line. It's curling out of play. And it's headed on by Johnston. It's now Rocky, the centre-half, who helps it forward for Celtic. Bounces towards Balogun. Met by a strong challenge there from Bernardo. Maeda takes it on. Balogun deals with it, though. Pokes it to Sterling in the midfield. Then out to the left to Lundstrom. Low ball forward to Cantwell. Uses his body to keep it away from McGregor and lays it off to Balogun. Goes to his left here to Lundstrom. Across to Goldson. I keep saying Goldson. Goldson. Tavernier at right back. Still inside his own half. Tries to play ball forward. Cut out, but then he prods it back forward. But only finds Greg Taylor, who goes down the Celtic left. Finds Lewis Palmer, whose touch just hits his heel. And it goes away from him. And it can go back to Butland for Rangers, who will clear it first time here. Into the Celtic half. Towards Dess, is headed one by Scales. It will drop loose to Sterling, who will charge down the Rangers right in the Celtic half. He's been fouled there by McGregor, but there is time for the free kick to be taken. I thought the referee had blown for half time there, as we have played the 2 minutes added on. Yeah, Sterling just caught there by McGregor. Didn't get any of the ball, the Celtic captain, and I think we will just have time for the free kick. Yeah, we will. Huge chance for Rangers right on half time. This is when Celtic scored in the reverse fixture at Ibrox earlier on in the season. And if Tavernier can get the ball right, an equaliser would be a very well accepted gift for Rangers. Yilmaz again stood over it, but I think it'll be the right foot of Tavernier. Usual suspects in the box for the away side. It will be the left foot of Yilmaz, headed away by Kyogo. Drops in the box McCausland. Cantwell strikes, but there was a foul given. Or a free kick I'm not sure who won, not sure what for in all honesty. But Celtic win the free kick, and that should be that for the first half. Let's have a look. The ball went in. Oh, Dessers holding the shirt of Greg Taylor. I think that's what it's been given for, more unlikely. As Joe Hart will take this free kick, and I think the whistle will be blown by Nick Walsh. Joe Hart takes it, slams it out to the right-hand side, ball in the air, whistle blown for half-time. And after the first 48 minutes of the first half, it is Celtic 1, Rangers 0. Celtic have definitely been the side who have dominated the chances in that first half. And the first goal came in the 25th minute. Paulo Bernardo with the shot. Cross came in from the near side, from the corner, from Palmer. Headed away, hit the near post by Seamer. But he didn't get it out of the box. It went straight to Paulo Bernardo, about 14 yards out, just behind the penalty spot, all on his own. First time he got over the ball and struck it towards that top right corner. Hit it with power beyond Jack Butland, and it gave Celtic a lead. Rangers have had chances, but a lot of them have been gifted to them by Celtic, giving the ball away. We've had McCausland force a really good save out of Joe Hart right before the end of the first half. Dess has had an unbelievable chance in the 35th minute as well. Misplaced ball by Johnston back towards Welsh, who's had to go off with a shoulder injury as well after that pass back. Couldn't get there ahead of Dess as he went in through on goal. And instead of taking on the shot, he took too long to decide what he wanted to do. And then from behind, Johnston and Hart together could stop Dessers from having a shot at goal. So Rangers have had the chances. Celtic have took the one that they've got. And it is at half-time. Celtic 1. Rangers 0. Not a bad half. Just seems like for Celtic... Oh my, sorry, I'm not in the flow today. I don't know what is going on with me. I keep saying the wrong thing. For Rangers, it just seems like they're just a second behind everything. Like, they're just off the pace by literally a second. It's strange. They're just like... If it's a pass they've got to make, they're just doing it a second too late. You know, if they're dribbling away from someone, they're just holding on to it for a second too long. And that is, I think, why Celtic are in the lead. They've just been a little bit sharper for me in possession. They've just about edged the possession, 53%. Rangers have had more shots, 7 shots, 2 on target. Celtic have had 5 shots, 2 on target. But like everyone says, it's the goals that count the most. And that is where Celtic are ahead by 1-0. Paulo Bernardo scoring in back-to-back games. Scored in their last game in their 3-0 away win at Dundee. And now he's scored again against Rangers. It's his first goal at Celtic Park, where he was booked for his celebration. He went diving into the home support where an advertisement board hit the deck, and it was all a bit of mayhem on the far side as Celtic did go 1-0 up. But a goal which puts Celtic ahead. It puts them 8 points clear of Rangers. But Rangers do have 2 games in hand, so that lead of 8 can be cut to 2. But it's definitely a lead that Celtic, I would say, deserve. Like I say, I think they've just been a bit sharper. I know Rangers have had more shots, but they've been getting into dangerous positions, Rangers. You know, and a lot of that has been balls given to them by Celtic, just giving away possession too easily. The best chance for me was McCausland with that shot. But in fairness, that wasn't his bad shot. It was a really good save by Joe Hart. He went low down to his right, looking for the bottom left corner. And it was a strong, very strong right hand. We did also have that penalty shout within the first half as well. And I want to see that again. It was Johnston on the byline, trying to see the ball out ahead of Seaman. It looks like he just smacked the ball away with his right hand. So we'll have to just wait and see on replays. VAR had a look at it and didn't give anything. We do have Premier League action as well. Luton against Chelsea, and that is 2-0 to Chelsea at half-time. Cole Palmer and Noni Madueke with the goals. That's back-to-back goals. Back-to-back goals in back-to-back games for Madueke for Chelsea. But here at Celtic Park it is 1-0. We're just waiting for the adverts to stop, and I want to see this penalty shout again. Obviously, they'll show the goal, but I'll see that penalty shout on Alistair Johnston with the handball. But Rangers are currently 7. I don't know what is going on with me. Oh my days. They are 17 unbeaten at the minute, 16 of them under Clement, their new head coach. Their away record this season has been pretty decent. They lost their first game of the season against Kilmarnock away from home, but they've won 7 of their 9. They've only conceded 3 goals now away from home. Celtic, Rangers against Celtic. And they have lost 3 times away in all competitions this season. Rangers, losing against PSV in Champions League qualification. They also lost to Aris Limassol in the Europa League, and then against Kilmarnock in the first game of the Scottish Premiership. But yeah, they're just showing that corner, and it's headed away by Seamer. It's not a great header away. And I just do not know how right near the penalty spot, Paolo Bernardo is all on his own. I just don't understand. I think McCausland was the closest to him, so maybe it was his man. I'm not too sure. But it allowed a free shot for Paolo Bernardo, who took it really well. Like I say, absolutely slammed it in towards the top right-hand side of the goal. No chance for Jack Butland, who will not be keeping his 13th clean sheet in the league this season. And here's another chance from Dessers. Yep, right on the 33rd minute. He got there ahead of Welsh, who ended up being injured and came off. But I just do not know what Dessers is doing. He enters the box on the left-hand side. He's got loads of time. Maybe too much time. I genuinely think that is what has happened. He's got too much time. He just hesitates, takes too long, and instead of pulling the trigger, he just doesn't do anything. Doesn't shoot, doesn't try anything, doesn't square it, just ends up being stopped by Johnston, and the ball fell into the hands of Hart. So bad from Cyriel Dessers, who's got to be doing better. Like I said, the last time I watched Dessers was away at Betis in the Europa League, and he was absolutely fantastic. But today, he's just been slightly off the pace up front. Has been a bit isolated, though, up front, in fairness, the Nigerian striker, born in Belgium. And here is the penalty shout. I'd love to know what they're saying. It was on the 42nd minute. The ball goes through, and the referee is right there. He couldn't have a better view. And I think as Johnston tries to grab a hold of Seamer like that, he tries to grab a hold of him, but instead of grabbing hold of Seamer, he taps the ball away with his hand. I mean, I really don't know what they're saying, and I don't want to be one of those who I'm on my own here. I just think that's a penalty. You can't just hit the ball away. Because if he doesn't hit the ball away, Seamer might keep that in. And then who knows what happens after that? I don't know. I need to see. I'm going to check Twitter. I need to know if I'm on my own on that. I think that's a great shout for a penalty. I really do. Let me see if I can get any opinions from any Celtic and Rangers fans here. Right, okay. Someone thinks it's definitely a handball. Yeah, there's a few people not happy. I think that's handball, personally. You can't just hit the ball out of play, even if you don't mean it. I think Seamer might keep that in on the byline, and then who knows what happens after that. And just the fact they've got VAR to check it, and they've still said no. They've not even let the referee. That's the thing with me. The referee, the VAR, if they don't think it's a penalty, let the referee have a look. Let the referee have the final say. And if the referee doesn't give that a penalty, then you know what? You kind of just got to just accept it, even if you think it's if it's the wrong decision. But the fact the VAR's checked it and not even let the referee go and have a second look and go, you know what? We don't think it's a pen, but you might. You're the one who's making the final decision. I don't know. But it wasn't given. Celtic keep the lead. 25th minute. Paolo Bernardo with the goal. Rangers have definitely had their chances. Just not taking it. Had a few half shots at goal. Main one from McCausland, which was well saved by Joe Hart. Thanks to everyone who is still here. Liking and subscribing does help if you haven't already, as the second half will be underway in a couple of minutes' time. As this would be. Rangers. 6th defeat of the season in all competitions. Like I say, they're first under Philippe Clement, their new head coach, who has won 9 of his first 10 Scottish Premiership games. The draw came away at Aberdeen in late November. but it is Brendan Rodgers' side who are on top. He's coming up towards 200 games in charge of Celtic. Brendan Rodgers, game 197 this is. And this is his 15th Old Firm, and he's only lost one Old Firm derby, and that was a 1-0 defeat away at Ibrox in December 2018. He's beat them 3 occasions in semi-finals. So he's got a really good record, Brendan Rodgers, in this fixture, and I really think he showed that in the last one. When they went to Ibrox away from home at the start of the season, when they were in front of a Ibrox crowd, which was all Rangers support, and they were able to go there and win 1-0, I think that did show that Brendan Rodgers knows this fixture really well, and he knows how to come out on top and get 3 points against the rivals. And at the end of the day, these are the games that you need to win if you're Celtic or Rangers. You can't be letting either of these two sides get one ahead of you. You've got to be keeping pace, and you've got to be trying to get ahead of them if possible. And it looks like so far he's got it right again, Brendan Rodgers, because in their last game against Dundee, left winger Mikey Johnston scored a brace off the bench. Scored his first 2 goals of the season. When someone scores 2 goals off the bench, you might offer them a start maybe. But Brendan Rodgers, he trusts Lewis, Palmer, Moore and Dyson, Maeda. And he's kept Mikey Johnston on the bench. So, but at the end of the day, you could say that that's a great option off the bench again. And that is a great point. Having that Mikey Johnston on the bench to come on. They've also got Hang Yun-jun. And they've got Hyun Gyu-oh on the bench. Obviously a lot of Asian players at Celtic, more so from when Ange Postecoglou was at the club, obviously with his time working in Asia, in Japan. So they've got quite a few Japanese and Korean players. I think another big plus for Celtic today was the reintroduction into the matchday squad of Rio Hatate, who has missed the last 13 games in the league with a hamstring injury. His last appearance for Celtic was in the Champions League against Atletico Madrid at the end of October. So they might not call upon him, they might not need him for this game, but to see him back on the substitutes bench is definitely a positive for Celtic. Obviously they've got David Turnbull as well on the bench, who's got 1 goal in 13 against Rangers. As we're just waiting for both sets of players to get back on the field here at Celtic Park. Make sure you do come back tomorrow. 2 o'clock kickoff, Fulham Arsenal on this Football Commentaries YouTube channel. Make sure you're here to see the last commentary of 2023 before we enter 2024. Which should be a great year, hopefully, for the channel. We'll keep growing even more. But who will take this second half? I mean, personally, if I had to have a guess, I'd probably go Celtic will see this through. The only way this can go the other way, where Rangers get back in it, is if they just speed up their play. Like, if they're just quicker on the ball themselves, they were just a bit too slow. If they can get in at half time and sort themselves out and come out a little bit quicker, then they could definitely sway towards Rangers. But I just think being away from home with the atmosphere, I think Celtic won't stop with their intensity, and I just think it might be a bit too much for Rangers at the end of the day. But we'll have to wait and see. Again, they're showing this handball clip. Seamer chasing it. Johnston tried to see it out, and it was just patted away off the hand of Johnston. And if he doesn't handle that ball, Seamer keeps it in. I'm sorry. He's on the byline. He can cut it back. I'm not saying for 1 second that Rangers score if the hand isn't used. I'm not saying that because, you don't know. Seamer might mess up the cross. He might try and shoot himself from a tight angle. You don't know. But for me, means it or not, Johnston tries to grab a hold of Seamer, doesn't hold him, he hits the ball instead. I just think that's a penalty. I think Celtic have got away with that big time, personally. But at the end of the day, the referee and VAR didn't give the handball, so the Rangers team of the players have just got to get on with it. Just got to try and forget it. As the Rangers team are the first back out. I think the only player for me for Rangers who really looks sharp and on it, because you expect Abdelacima to be, be quick and on it because he's been really good. But I think the two players who've been on it most for Rangers for me, I think Ross McCausland's been really good on the right-hand side. He's making his 5th start in his last 6 games, so he's certainly being trusted now by Philippe Clement, the head coach. And I think Todd Cantwell, in the midfield, some of his turns and his twisting, getting away from Callum McGregor a lot of the time, has been really good. But if the players around them, so like Dessers, he needs to improve. Seamer, you can't really have too much of a go at because he's been unbelievable this season for Rangers. As Celtic's players are also out, so we're ready to kick off for the second half. It'll be Rangers kicking right to left. It'll be Celtic right to left, Rangers left to right. Who will take home the 3 points? Will a team take home 3 points? Will we get one each? I'll have to wait and see, but Celtic have the upper hand here at Celtic Park. And let's see who will come away with the bragging rights. As it will be Celtic to kick us off. We are just waiting for the whistle here of Nick Walsh. As the second game between these two last season was a 2-2 draw at Ibrox on the 2nd of January. So could we get a similar result this time out? Or will we get another Celtic win? Celtic won 4 of the 6 games last season that they played against each other. Just the one Rangers win that came in May at home. Celtic won both games at Celtic Park. So we still await the referee's whistle here. I think he might be having some technical problems. No, he's not. They have been sorted, whatever was wrong. And the referee will blow for the second half. It's Celtic to kick us off. Johnson, the right back, sending it high out to the right-hand side towards Maeda. Heads it in towards the 18-yard box where it'll be Balogun to clear it away for Rangers. Up in the air it goes. Brought down by Seamer. And he'll keep it in. He'll try and send it down the left-hand side. Just runs out of pitch. Thrown for Celtic. Cut out by Seamer. Helped forward by Lundstrom. Up towards Dessers, who nods it into Cantwell, who takes it on really well for the moment, but then tackled on halfway by McGregor. Out to the left-hand side here to Taylor. Quick start to the second half. Forward to Palmer. Goes down the challenge of Tavernier, and that'll be a free kick for Celtic. Midway inside the Rangers half. On the near side. McGregor's coming over to take it. Waiting for a bit of movement here. And he'll leave it for Bernardo to take. And he'll go backwards here to Scales, who dribbles away from Dessers. Goes back to McGregor. And across here to Naroki. Polish centre-half, brought in on the 35th minute for an injured Stephen Welsh. And he has it here on halfway. The former Legia Warsaw centre-half. His pass forward is a good one. Finds O'Reilly. Turns away from Balogun. Sends it out to the left-hand side. Kyogo on the edge. Left-footed strike! Top right corner. And that is how you score in the Old Firm derby. Under 2 minutes in to the start of the second half. It's Celtic 2, Rangers 0. And it is a party in paradise for Celtic as they lead 2-0 against Rangers. He's been ever so quiet in the first half, but that is what happens when you have a player like Kyogo. From nowhere, he can create magic like that. He just dropped a little bit deeper for the ball, moving away from Goldson, and as he received it on the edge of the 18-yard box, he just worked a little bit of room to shoot with that wonder of a left foot. It was curling into that top right corner. Butland got a fingertip to it, not enough to keep it out. And that is an unbelievable goal from Kyogo to double the Celtic lead. And right after the start of the second half, it's Celtic 2, Rangers 0. And that is a moment of absolute brilliance. Kyogo with the goal of all goals in an Old Firm derby. 2-0 to the home side. And that is how you introduce yourself into a game. Because Kyogo, like I say, he's just been a bit quiet in the first half. Not his own fault. He just hasn't quite got involved. They've not quite worked it to him. They were doing a lot down the flanks in the first half, Celtic. But that's what happens when you have a player like him. He finds the ball and he'll do stuff. He'll do something like that. That's his 7th goal now in 11 against Rangers, and there's a big mountain to climb for the away side, who are trying to hold on to a 17 unbeaten streak. This would be 18 unbeaten if they don't lose. It'd be their first defeat under new head coach Clement. Tavernier sends a high ball down the right-hand side, looking for McCausland. Comes off the head of Taylor. It's going to be kept in here by McGregor, who plays it forward. It's a low one, cut out in the midfield by Lundstrom. Forward by Tavernier to Cantwell, who just falls over as he touches the ball, and it picked up by McGregor. Out to the right-hand side to Maeda, who will control it. Just goes behind him, but he can keep it in on the far side. Midway side the Rangers half. He dribbled backwards. He's been followed here by Yilmaz. So now McGregor back to Naroki. The 22-year-old centre-half came through the Werder Bremen youth ranks. Mike Naroki. So now with the left centre-half Scales. Just about keeps it in on the near side. Sends a high ball down the channel. Headed won by Tavernier. Headed back forward by O'Reilly to Palmer. Tackled by Tavernier, but straight to McGregor. Now Palmer again on halfway. Goes backwards and to the right to Naroki for Celtic, who will dribble forward from centre-half and play out to the right-hand side to Maeda. He's got Johnston making a run forward with him. He goes on the inside instead. Tries to play it forward towards O'Reilly. Cut out by Yilmaz. Straight to Johnston as Celtic keep the pressure up. Palmer just loses out to Lundstrom on the edge of the 18-yard box. McCausland forward to Cantwell. Dispossessed from behind though by Bernardo. Out to the right it goes to Maeda, who's going to keep it in on the right-hand side. Johnston, one-on-one with Lundstrom. Falls backwards here to McGregor. Then across to the left-hand side to Bernardo. It's now Palmer. Can't take on Tavernier. Throw in for Celtic. Midway side the Rangers half. On this near side where Bernardo will leave it for Taylor to take. He'll complete a 1-2 from the throw-in. It's now back with Taylor, the left back. Forced backwards after being pressed by McCausland. Finds Scales, who gets away from Dessers and McCausland and play a ball down the Celtic left, looking for Bernardo to chase it. But it'll go right through for Butland in the 18-yard area. As he rolls it out to Balogun at left centre-half for Rangers. Dribbling away from Kyogo. Finding Yilmaz. Playing it down the left-hand side. It's a heavy one. Dessers will chase it. Naroki will get there first and send it down the Celtic right. Does find Bernardo. It's now forward by Johnston. Header inside. It's now O'Reilly. Goes backwards here to Scales at left centre-half for Celtic as they keep the ball the home side in their own half. Passes the halfway line now, the centre-half Scales. And goes out to the left to Palmer. Driving inside from that left flank. Putting a ball out to the right-hand side. Where it'll be controlled by Maeda just outside the area. Keeping the ball away from Yilmaz. And it goes to McGregor. McCausland can't keep the ball away from Taylor. Who from left back is almost in the central midfield position. He lays it back off to McGregor. Out to the right-hand side to Johnston. Running inside away from Seamer. Finding Kyogo. Ball through towards Maeda. Cut out by Balogun. Clear down the Rangers right. Dessers will chase it. Scales will get there first with a pass forward to Palmer at left wing, who tries to play a ball into the box. It's headed away by Goldson towards the byline where he'll keep it in and play it out to right back Tavernier. Inside to Sterling. Forward to Lundstrom. Around the corner down the right hand side, and he finds Cantwell in a bit of room here. Good move from Rangers to build from the back. Cantwell inside to Dessers, who's been tackled there by Naroki. Now be a throw in for Rangers. Good defending from the Polish centre half. Like I say, only making his 4th appearance for Celtic. It's his 5th of the season. He played 1 game for Legia Warsaw before moving in the summer. Lundstrom keeps it to Sterling. It's now Balogun on halfway as play's been stopped. As Sterling released the ball there, it looks like he may have just caught O'Reilly in the face. Don't think it was on purpose from Dujon Sterling, but Matt O'Reilly has stayed down. He's their leading goal scorer this season. O'Reilly with 9 goals, not scored any in his last 3. Kyogo is right behind him though. Kyogo's now got 8 in the season. He'd only scored 1 in his last 7, Kyogo, in a bit of a goal scoring rut. But Oh, right. That says a lot, that. So, as we've been talking about during half time with the handball on Alistair Johnston, they've just shown as the ball was put into the box by a Rangers player, Seamer was in offside position. So, it would have been offside anyway. And I don't know why they've not shown that at half time. They were just showing the handball incident. But as the ball was put in towards Seamer, he was in an offside position, so it would have been an offside anyway. So probably that's why it wasn't given as a handball and a penalty, because Seamer was offside. That says a lot. Why didn't they show that before? I don't know. But that clears that up anyway. As at Luton Town, it is still Luton 0, Chelsea 2, but they're just showing in a slow motion action replay of that Kyogo strike. Like I say, Jack Butland did get a fingertip to it, but I don't think he was ever stopping that from thrashing the back of the net from Kyogo Furuhashi, the 28-year-old. Was linked with Spurs in the summer due to Ange Postecoglou moving to Tottenham Hotspur. But we have just still got the stoppage in play here, as I think Matt O'Reilly did see blood from his nose after just being caught in the face there accidentally by Dujon Sterling. But we will restart with Rangers on the ball when we do get back underway. And there are the two goal scorers. A little bit of a handshake. Kyogo and Bernardo. Both goals have been fantastic as well. Kyogo with his left foot and Bernardo with his right. So Matt O'Reilly still receiving some treatment. I don't think he'll need to come off. Let's hope not anyway, as there is a lot of blood gushing. Let's have a look. Dujon Sterling was just kicking the ball, and somehow his left hand just came across like that. It was a bit weird, actually, because I don't think he actually knew Matt O'Reilly was behind him. He just swung an arm out like that. Did seem accidental anyway. I'm going to hope it was anyway, but I'm honestly not too sure. He definitely caught him in the face, and there is a lot of blood coming out of the nose of Matt O'Reilly. Philippe Clement's not happy with the time it's taking. And I think Clement's argument is, why aren't they doing this off the field? As it looks like he might be tasting defeat for the first time as Rangers head coach here. That is a lot of blood for Matt O'Reilly, it really is. A lot of blood on the shirt as well there. So hope he can continue. So O'Reilly's just come off to the near side here, as we just had a few minutes of stoppage. So back underway, Rangers are on the ball in a right back position with Sterling. Goes down the line for McCausland, returns it to Sterling, forward for Cantwell, cleared by Scales into the Rangers half, where it's been won back for the Gers by Goldson. It's now back with Butland in the 18-yard area. Still no O'Reilly back on the field as of yet, as I can see. It's Goldson, switches out to the left towards Yilmaz, goes behind him, thrown for Celtic in the final third. That is a shocking pass from Goldson, gifting possession for Celtic. It's O'Reilly still receiving treatment there with this bloody nose. And it's Alistair Johnston at right back with the throw-in towards the final third here for the home side, as he throws it backwards here to McGregor. Lets the ball run across his body away from Cantwell. And goes back into his own half here with now Rocky. Then across to number 5, Dublin-born Liam Scales. Forced back to Hart here in the 18-yard area. Closed down by Dessers. Plays it out to the left-hand side. It's a heavy ball. It's one that's been kept in by Palmer. All as far as Tavernier on halfway. Down the line to Sterling. Got McCausland in support. He goes over on the challenge of Palmer. Now be a free kick for Rangers, with Tavernier to take it. Quickly to his left to Lundstrom. Then on once more to Balogun in the centre circle. Back to Lundstrom again. To Sterling on the right-hand side. Plenty of Celtic bodies behind the ball as they are still with 10 men at the minute. I think O'Reilly still receiving treatment with that bloody nose. Cantwell back to Goldson on halfway. All Celtic players behind the ball. Balogun. Goes out to the left there to Yilmaz. High ball in towards the 18-yard area. Cut out by the header of Scales. Helped away by Johnston. Picked up by Lundstrom. He will go back to Yilmaz at left back for Rangers. On the halfway line, he finds Balogun. To his right here to Goldson. Out to the right once more to Tavernier. Keeps it moving forward to McCausland, who's just gone a bit more central. McCausland. And they've worked it well out to the left-hand side here to Yilmaz, who's driving forward away from Maeda. Keeps going. McCausland, edge of the box, tries to feed it back through to Yilmaz. Keeps it alive, though, here. McCausland. Keeping it away from O'Reilly, who's back on the field now for Celtic. Lundstrom, about 30 yards from goal. He tries to put a ball in towards the far post to Tavernier, who nods it down. Cleared by Greg Taylor. All as far as Sterling on the edge of the box, who keeps it alive for Rangers. Cantwell, 25 yards out. Tries to get it out to the right-hand side. Cut out by O'Reilly, who's then been tackled by Sterling from behind. And that'll be a free kick. It's actually Bernardo, sorry. Honestly, yellow card as well for Sterling for that foul from behind. Try to stop the Celtic counter-attack. But Bernardo and O'Reilly look so similar in that midfield with the hair, the dark hair. But that was Bernardo who's brought down there by Dujon Sterling. Usually a right-back Sterling, but he's been converted into a central midfielder by Philippe Clement since he's been at the club. Had a great 45 minutes in that midfield against Real Betis in the Europa League when he came off the bench at half-time. So, just over half an hour to play. Celtic free kick with Scales, the centre-half. It looks like he's going to send this into the Rangers half. He'll clip it down the Celtic left, looking for Palmer, headed away by Tavernier. Cantwell back out to the right to Tavernier, good control, and then down the line himself, he goes towards Dessers, who will hold it up against Scales. Kicked away by Scales, and he commits the foul there, Dessers. Must have been holding back Scales as he won the ball. It looks like Celtic are doing their own rendition of the Poznan, not facing the game here, as they're forward in the final third with right back Johnston. Closed down by Yilmaz. Ball forward, cut out on the edge of the box by Lundstrom. Finds Cantwell, back into the path of Lundstrom. They need to get this counter-attack working. Lundstrom in the centre circle, can get away from McGregor, slotting it through to the left-hand side to Dessers. In the box, on his left foot, he strikes it onto the side netting. And that'll be a goal kick for Celtic. Does not quite been his day, has it, for Cyriel Dessers. He's looking for his 7th goal in the Scottish Premiership. If he scores today, it'll be his 10th in all competitions for Rangers. But he was just sent a bit too far wide there and the angle was tight. As Celtic go down the right-hand side. Good interception midway side his own half by Yilmaz, as the ball was nearly fed through to Maeda. And Maeda now has the ball down that Celtic right on the far side. Goes inside to O'Reilly. Back to the right back Johnston. Then into their own half with Naroki. McGregor. Misplaced touch, but it does drop to Greg Taylor, the full-back, who keeps it away from Cantwell, and now goes back to Scales. He goes back to Hart in the 18-yard area. Forward here to Scales. And to the right centre-back, Naroki. He will drive forward in the Celtic half. Plays it forward to Kyogo, who's just dropped deeper for the possession of the ball. Celtic back on the halfway line with Scales. Driving forward. Plays it forward here to Bernardo. Furthest left is Palmer in the final third. Everything to his right. One-on-one with Tavernier. Quite a few step overs. Then shifts it onto his right foot. Squares it for Bernardo. Can't get some space in the box. Ball drops in the end to McGregor, who loses out to Goldson, who clears it for Rangers. Headed back forward by Scales, out to the left-hand side. Kept in by Palmer. Tackled by Tavernier. Throwing for the home side. On this near side. Greg Taylor, the left back, with it. Throws it down the line here for Palmer. Tackled by McCausland, whose ball inside drops to Palmer for Celtic. Lifts it into the area and it goes straight through for Butland. Nearly aimed, well, it was aimed for Kyogo. He nearly got towards him, but reached Butland first. It just doesn't look like Rangers can score in this second half. They've struggled for opportunities. I know Dessers hit the side netting just before, but it was an hard chance for him to take. Tavernier, short ball towards Goldson, who's caught there as he clears. Goldson in a lot of pain, as it's Paolo Bernardo, who's already on a booking, who catches Goldson late. Tavernier with a poor pass back. Galton got there, and then Galton more just ran into Bernardo more than anything. Bernardo was more just in the way. So don't think it's a second booking or anything. Definitely a free kick. There's nothing malicious from Paulo Bernardo. As Galton is back to his feet. Rangers number 6, who has scored twice against Celtic, both in the same game. It was a brace away at Celtic Park in a win in October 2020. Don't know if VAR's having a look at that. I don't think they are. It's not a free kick. It's not a second yellow or a red card for me. Butland takes this free kick. Big kick into the Celtic half. Dessers will challenge for it. It goes beyond him towards Seamer, who will get the ball to drop to Dessers in the box. It's just kicked away there by Naroki, but the play's been pulled back here for a free kick for Rangers. Seamer was the one who went down, holding his face. Let's have a look. The ball went towards Seamer, and as Johnson went for it, just caught a right arm in the face of Seamer, and that will be a free kick for Rangers. This is in Tavernier territory. Just an elbow in the face of Seamer there by Johnston, as that has been a player who's been desperately quiet for Rangers this second half, Abdullah Seamer. It looks like Rangers are going to make the first change of the day. And it's with 25 minutes to go. It looks like it's going to be Kieran Dowell to come on. Brought in on a free from Norwich in the summer, after scoring 5 times in the Championship last season, including a brace against Preston in January. Seamer is having to have some medical attention here after this elbow in the face. I mean, I know he's been quiet, but they definitely don't want Abdullah Seamer coming off, because he's a bit like Kyogo. Give him a chance and he'll take it. It's a heavy elbow, that, in the face, in fairness. Right on the nose. Definitely a painful one with 25 minutes to play. And Alistair Johnston is on a yellow card. Don't think it's enough for VAR to review it to give a straight red. But he is definitely on a tightrope, Alistair Johnston. Seamer stays down here on his back. Not a great look for Rangers fans. He's been so good this season, Abdullah Seamer. Spent last season on loan in France, scoring 5 goals in Ligue 1. But now he's got 9 goals in the Scottish Premiership, 14 in all competitions. But he just took a heavy blow here, an elbow to the face for Abdullah Seamer, as Kieran Dowell will be the one to come on. And is he going to replace Abdullah Seamer? We'll have to wait and see. As it's still Luton 0, Chelsea 2 in the Premier League. So yeah, the VAR. So I have no idea why they've not shown this at half time. But in the 66th minute, that handball appeal in the 42nd minute has been cleared up. The reason it wasn't given as handball was because Seamer was offside when the ball was put in the box. So Alistair Johnston hit the ball behind with his hand, but because Seamer was in an offside position, that was what the first original decision was. Why they've not been able to show that earlier, I had no idea. So Abdullah Seamer is back to his feet. That doesn't mean that he's going to stay on, because Kieran Dowell is being readied. Well, he is ready to come on. Don't think the substitute's been made yet. So the free kick just to the left-hand side, outside the area. It's perfect for a right footer. And when you think about a right-footed free kick for Rangers, your mind instantly goes to James Tavernier, who, alongside Seamer, is Rangers' top goal scorer in the league with 9. He's got 2 in his last 5. He's got 15 in all competitions already, James Tavernier, from that right-back position. About 25 yards out. It's an unbelievable position for a free kick, this. Tavernier, right into the wall. Drops to Yilmaz. Goes across to his right to Lundstrom. Tries to recycle it in the box. Tavernier heads it on towards Dessers. Goes over his head. And then the offside flag is up on Dessers. And that'll be a free kick for Celtic. And what a waste that was by James Tavernier. Didn't even get it over the wall. And it will be a change. And for me, the Rangers player who's probably been the brightest spark is going to be coming off. Todd Cantwell is replaced by Kieran Dowell, who's only making his 6th appearance in the Scottish Premiership. Scored in their last game in the 3rd minute against Motherwell in the 24th of December. As it looks like they haven't readied a change, but Abdel-Assima won't be able to continue. So Rangers are currently down to 10. As a misplaced ball there by Bernardo drops to Naroki, as it was aimed for McGregor, nearly dropped to a Rangers player here, as O'Reilly feeds the overlapping run of Johnston, who towards the byline. Does he overrun it? Yeah, he does. Out of play. Goal kick for Rangers with 21 minutes to play. They are 8 points clear in the league with this win, but Rangers do have 2 games in hand, as Abdel-Assima will be replaced here by number 23, Scott Wright. Yet to score in 15 previous games against Celtic, Scott Wright, as he's coming on for his 98th appearance in a Rangers shirt. As Butland with the goal kick with just over 20 minutes to play will send this one long. It looks like Celtic are going to make a change of their own with number 14 David Turnbull soon. As the ball out to the right, it's found McCausland. He loses out to Palmer, who runs out of room on the left-hand side, and it'll be a throw-in for Rangers inside their own half. Tavernier gets the ball returned to him from the throw-in. Sterling out to the right-hand side to McCausland. His ball towards Dessers. He's been cut out by Scales, who keeps it in really well on the Celtic left and gets the return ball from Bernardo. Ball across to now Rocky, just about meets it and clears it. Headed away by Tavernier in the Rangers half. Controlled by Sterling. Keeps it away from McGregor. Sterling down the Rangers right. Tries to play a ball through towards Dessers. Cut out by Palmer. And that'll be a throw-in for the away side. And here comes the Rangers. Oh my days, my brain. I'm so sorry. Celtic change. David Turnbull, central midfielder, will replace the goal scorer for the first goal. The loanee from Benfica, Paulo Bernardo, scored in the 25th minute, scoring in back-to-back games for Celtic, making his 3rd start in a row. He'll be replaced by David Turnbull, who comes on for only his 4th appearance in the league. Have I not done his stats right there? That doesn't seem correct. As Maeda, in behind, he's been brought down by Balogun, and that's a red card. Rangers are down to 10 men, and it goes from bad to worst. Leon Balogun sees red. It's his 3rd red card in a Rangers shirt. It's his 2nd straight red. And Balogun misplaced a touch, fell to Kyogo. Maeda was in behind, and then it was him and Balogun racing for it. And Balogun was not letting him through. Arms all around him. And it has to be one decision for the referee. And it has to be a red card. And that's what's been given. Leon Balogun sent off. So it's Celtic 2, Rangers 0. Celtic, a man advantage is from the free kick. Palmer strikes it over the crossbar. But it was all his own doing there, Leon Balogun. Heavy touch gave the ball away. And as he tried to recover, he had to pull down Maeda, who was in behind one-on-one with Butland if he got away from Balogun. And it means a red card. And it's all Celtic now. Being Maeda down the right-hand side, tackled by Yilmaz. Sterling looks for a switch out to the right-hand side. Well controlled by McCausland. Still in his own half as he tries to get away from Greg Taylor. Tackled by the left-back. And the last touch comes off McCausland. Throw in for Celtic. Sorry, I've just not got David Turnbull's stats right. Do apologise. David Turnbull has, though, been dropped to the bench for the last couple of games due to Brendan Rodgers preferring to use Paulo Bernardo, and that selection choice has been a positive one as Maeda can't quite keep in the pass there from O'Reilly. And that'll be a throw-in for Rangers in a left-back position here. So if they lose the ball, it could be a dangerous position to give the ball away. We just have a goal every other game, Paul Turnbull. 7 goals in 14 Scottish Premiership appearances. So he has definitely been performing well. Just not started since early December. Celtic in behind. Palmer looking for Greg Taylor on the byline. We'll keep it in, but it will be dispossessed there by McCausland. Sends the ball long up towards Dessers. Loses out to Scales. His header drops to Scott Wright. Touches heavy. Loses out to McGregor. And Celtic eventually have it in their back line with Naroki. McGregor. Out to the right-hand side on halfway is Johnston. Finds McGregor again. Absolutely all the time in the world on the ball here, McGregor, and he'll play out to the left-hand side to Scales. Forward and out to the left there to Turnbull, the substitute. Palmer driving inside, getting away from Tavernier, playing it to Turnbull, the substitute who shoots in the box. Straight at Jack Butland. Not a great attempt there by Turnbull, looking for his 8th goal of the season. As Yilmaz forward to Dessers on halfway. His touch is too heavy. Tackled by Johnston. Now with McGregor in the centre circle, lifting the ball up towards Maeda, chests it down as well. He's got time here to find a pass, plays it through to Turnbull, to his right to Johnston, just sent him a little bit wide, but he will put a low cross in, which is cleared by Lundstrom. All as far as O'Reilly. Turnbull again, in the box, goes out of the box to McGregor, who will shoot. It'll be blocked and it'll run through to the Celtic left to Palmer. He tries to get onto his right foot again, stopped by Tavernier. Tavernier plays it forward to Dessers. Tackled by Naroki. Great tackle from the Polish centre-half in the centre circle. And his tackle goes all the way to Yilmaz at left-back for Rangers. Sterling loses it in the midfield to O'Reilly. Turnbull down the left-hand side to Palmer in the box. Tries to square it straight into the hands of Butland again. McCausland on the right-hand side on the halfway line. Been forced backwards by Taylor. Does find Tavernier. Goes forward on the halfway line to Scott Wright. Dispossessed by O'Reilly. It has been a very dominant Celtic performance, especially in this second half. They have been much the better side against Rangers as Johnston at right back puts an early low block crossing towards Kyogo, who will get there with a touch which loops into the hands of Butland. Got there ahead of Goldson there, Kyogo. But the control touch wasn't really to his feet. Fell into Butland in the end. It's Chelsea, a 3-0 up against Luton. Cole Palmer at the double. 14 minutes to play. Midway inside the Rangers half, it's Dowell. Finds Lundstrom. High ball over the top. Looking for McCausland. It's a header won by Scales out to the Rangers right, where it's been kept alive here by Dessers. He's got McGregor closest to him, but he finds Tavernier, who's almost in the centre attacking midfield role there. Tavernier as Dowell feeds it out to the left-hand side. And not one blue shirt is there. Throwing for Celtic on the far side. It looks like they're going to make a change here. Centre-back John Souttar to come on. Scottish centre-half. He's lost 22 times in his previous 27 against Celtic, as he will replace number 4 John Lundstrom, who comes off. So it looks like they're going to get that extra body back in defence after that red card of Balogun. 13 minutes to play. O'Reilly returns the ball to Johnston. Tackled by Dowell, kept in, but it'll be cleared forward with a nice pass by Naroki. Ball over the top now for Maeda. He gets on the end of it in the final third. He'll put first time cross in and he balloons that over the crossbar. And it'll be a goal kick for Rangers. Not really been the best today, Dyson Maeda, in terms of his final pass. Just lacked a little bit. That last cross or that last pass to a teammate. Tavernier clears forward down the Rangers right, met by Scales first. Cleared by Taylor, chested down though here for Rangers and played forward for Dessers. Back to Tavernier, then down the line for Wright, who will chase it. Now Rocky will get there with a slide tackle, and that'll be a throw in for Rangers. Right next to the corner flag on the near side. He's been really good since coming on in the first half. Mike Naroki, signed in the summer, barely being used by Brendan Rodgers. But he's had to be used today due to the substitute and the injury of Stephen Welsh, the centre-half, who came off in the 35th minute. Somehow from that throw-in, I didn't even see it because they were showing a camera angle of Stephen Welsh. Rangers have lost it from that throw-in. O'Reilly for Celtic. Midway inside the Rangers half. Rangers got plenty of bodies back here as McGregor has the ball. Alistair Johnson, the right back, loads of room on this far side. Crosses it low. Cut out by Yilmaz at the near post. Helped away by Wright. All as far as now Rocky, who's touched forward. Finds McGregor. It's now O'Reilly in the midfield. Dinks the ball into the box towards the far post. It's a header back by Tavernier into the hands of Butland. Good defending by the Rangers right back. Butland goes short to Galton on the edge of the 18-yard box. Forward here to Dowell. Goes inside to the left. Finds McCausland through the legs of O'Reilly, but then loses it to Maeda on halfway. Celtic in possession again with just over 10 minutes to play. Scales, O'Reilly out to the left here to Turnbull. Into the path of Palmer on the left-hand side. He wants to get onto that right foot. He'll square it across instead to the edge of the box towards O'Reilly. Misplaces the touch. Tackled by Sterling, who will drive forward for Rangers. Dujon Sterling, he's followed all the way there by Turnbull. Dragged down in the end by the substitute, and that'll be a yellow card for David Turnbull. Free kick on halfway for Rangers. Good strong run in there by Dujon Sterling. He's only making his third start of the season. His first start was against Celtic at Ibrox. His second start was in the last game against Motherwell. And then he started again here at Celtic Park. Galton on halfway. Lifts the ball up towards Dessers. Headed away by Johnston. Drops to Scott Wright. Back out to the left to Dessers. In a left wing position. In the box. Gets onto his right foot. Plays it backwards to Dujon Sterling. Dowell. Forward towards McCausland. His pass has been intercepted by Greg Taylor, who plays a pass forward to Kyogo, who got the second goal of the game right after half-time. Slows the game down in the Celtic half and then speeds it up with a pass forward to Turnbull. He then goes back to McGregor as he's being pressed by Dowell. It's now out to the Celtic right in the Rangers half. Johnston. Got loads of time here. Finds McGregor. Easy 1-2 with Turnbull. McGregor, another 1-2 with Turnbull. Celtic captain, not being pressed here by any Rangers players. He just keeps it simple, goes back to the right back Johnston, and down the line. It's now with Johnston again. Taylor coming into midfield from left back. It's now with Naroki. Gets away from Dessers on halfway, playing it to the left of Scales. On once more to Kyogo. I don't want to use the cliche, but it's been a bit men versus boys in the second half. It's been a really poor second half performance from Rangers. And I mean, don't get me wrong, the goal in the 47th minute from Kyogo right after half time is a big blow. But they have just not been good enough in the slightest in the second half, Rangers. I didn't think they were that good in the first half. I thought a lot of their chances were gifted to them as Kyogo's been found in the box here. A shot at the near post. Saved by Butland. Flag eventually goes up. Offside there on Kyogo. Looking for a brace there. Kyogo. Just straight offside there. Good save from Butland though. As it will be a substitute for Celtic with 8 minutes to play. Kyogo Furuhashi, the one who scored the absolute whirled it into the top right corner in the 47th minute, will be replaced. He is the one to put them 2-0 up. What a dynamite of a player he is. It's going to be a triple change here, actually. Lewis Palmer, Kyogo and Maeda will come off for Mikey Johnston. Lyle Abada, who's making his first Celtic appearance since the last Old Firm. He's been injured since early September with a thigh injury. He'll come on. And the other substitute will be number 19, the striker, Hyun-Gyu Oh. will be coming on. So triple change, the front three off for Celtic. And it's replaced by another front three of Abada, Mikey Johnston, and O. So Butland takes the offside free kick up towards Dess. It goes over his head and volleyed away by Johnston. Helped away by Abada. Turnbull, sorry. It's now with Abada. It goes back to the right back, Johnston. Forward to Turnbull. Cut out by Sterling. Try to get away from McGregor. And can he get away from McGregor? He tries to get away from McGregor and he can't quite do so. Met by a really strong challenge in the end there by Greg Taylor. And it'd be a stoppage of play here. Don't think it was a foul on either player. Just a collision of two players against one another. Like I say, Sterling tried to get away from McGregor, couldn't really do so, and then eventually was met by a really big tackle from Taylor. Like I say, the ball was there to be won for both of them, and both of them got a touch of the ball, and then both went through each other, so it's not a free kick in either end, but it's definitely a heavy collision for Greg Taylor. He's actually holding his right arm there, the Celtic left back. Luton have got one goal back, Ross Barkley against his former side. But Celtic have it in their own half with McGregor the captain. Out to the right-hand side here. For Mikey Johnston. He's passed back towards McGregor. Straight to Dessers. One-on-one here. Dessers in the box. Right-footed shot. Well blocked and well defended by Naroki. That was a big chance. Not taken. Dessers has been absolutely shocking today. He's been really poor up front for Rangers. Not saying the result would have been different if he wasn't playing, but you feel like if Rangers had a Kamaru up front, chances may have been taken. Celtic, Turnbull in the box. Johnston, high ball, goes over everyone. And it goes right through to McCausland on the right wing for Rangers. The counter could be on here. McCausland running at Greg Taylor here. Running on the inside, getting tripped by McGregor. And that'll be a free kick and a yellow card for Callum McGregor. Very cynical one there from the Celtic captain. Knew exactly what he was doing. Bringing down Ross McCausland. So Tavernier with the free kick. It's going to be a ball that can be crossed into the area. And it's a high one. It goes all the way to the back post. Header one for Celtic. Drops to the right back position here with Matt O'Reilly. Who goes back here in the end to Abada. Getting his first few touches back on the ball for Celtic as he plays a nice ball through here to Turnbull. Big ball out to the left-hand side. It's a high one. And it will reach Mikey Johnston, who's tackled there by Tavernier. Or as far as Taylor, the left back. He's been followed here by McCausland and Tavernier. Last touch off the Celtic man. Rangers throwing with 4 minutes to play. Tavernier throws it into the midfield to Dowell. Back to the edge of the box to Suter, who came off the bench late on. John Suter did start 2 of the last 3 league games, the centre-half. But has been dropped to the bench for the last 2. Was on the bench against Motherwell, and now again today. Galton's ball out to the right-hand side. It's a great ball. Chested touch by Tavernier midway inside the Celtic half. Ball through to the edge of the box of Dessers. Good chested touch himself for Scott Wright to latch onto it with a shot that's been blocked. But it's still alive for Rangers on their left-hand side with Dowell. Finds Sterling midway inside the Celtic half. Looking out to the right-hand side. Lays it off to Tavernier, who's got Johnston following him. But he gets it to Dowell. Through towards Dessers on the edge of the box, who's been tripped on the edge. And that is really on the edge. Free kick given away by Mike Naroki, who's been booked as well. Good attempted turn there by Dessers. Yeah, tripped and pulled back there, right on the edge of the box. So, free kick for Rangers. Just under 3 minutes to play, plus added on time. They're down to 10 men, Rangers. Red card, last man challenge from Leon Balogun, and they are 2 down. A goal back with this free kick, and who knows? We can leave it up to the imagination of what could happen from then until the end of the game. Tavernier's over it. The last free kick he had, when it was at about 20 odd minutes ago. He hit the ball. Can he at least try and challenge Joe Hart with this one? Tavernier shoots over the wall and into the top left corner. He has challenged Joe Hart. Too much of a challenge. What a goal that is. No chance Joe Hart's keeping that one out. And with 2 minutes of the 90 to play, we've added on time. Even though they've got a man less, Rangers are back in this game. What a goal that is. Tavernier becomes Rangers' leading scorer in the league for this season with 10. He's reached double figures. It's his 5th goal in this fixture. He got 3 last season. Over the wall, under the crossbar. Joe Hart got a hand to it, couldn't keep it out. It's 2-1 to Celtic. And Rangers have won the ball back here. Edge of the box. Goldson bumps it clear down the right-hand side. Imagine if they somehow nick a point here. Over the head of Scales. Dessers has it. But there's a free kick against Dessers there. I think he pulled the Celtic defender. And from nothing to something for Rangers. 2-1 from the free kick. But Celtic build down the right-hand side. Ball through. Looking for Turnbull. Cut out by Dowell. Poked away by Yilmaz. Up towards Dessers, who again loses out to Scales. He's been absolutely unreal today against Cyriel Dessers. Liam Scales. He's been absolutely fantastic in every one-on-one battle. Taylor, the left back, crosses towards the far post. It goes beyond Abada and O'Reilly for a throw-in for the away side. Tavernier has given them a lifeline. He's now got 3 in his last 6 games, James Tavernier. The Rangers build from the back. Yilmaz clears it off Abada. Headed forward by O'Reilly. Cleared by Galton in the 18-yard area. Up towards Dessers, who can't get there ahead of Naroki. Free kick there on Galton. As he was pushed in the back there as he went for the header. But on the edge of the area, left-hand side of the box, that's a superb free kick from Tavernier. We know he can do that. That's his 117th goal in a Rangers shirt for the 32-year-old. As they try and build down the right-hand side. McCausland into Tavernier. Final third. Low ball in. Touched on by Scott Wright. It's bobbling in the box and eventually cleared by McGregor. Goldson wins it back momentarily, but then it's won back by Mikey Johnston for Celtic. Out to the left-hand side here. Oh. Switches it. What a ball that is to Abada, who returns for Celtic off the bench. Edge of the box. He will strike it straight at Butland. 8 minutes have added on time. This is not over. Do not leave yet. Tavernier equalised for Rangers in the 88th minute. And this game isn't over, despite having a man less. Butland clearing beyond the halfway line. Header away by Scales. Only as far as the thigh touch from Dowell. Tavernier. Ball down the right-hand side. Cut out by Scales. Drops to Taylor. Last touch off Taylor as he bounced it off McCausland. And that'll be a throw-in for Rangers on the near side. Midway side the Celtic half. Takes the throw-in quickly here to Sterling. Tackled there by O. And that'll be a throw-in for Rangers. Taken quickly into the midfield by Tavernier to Dowell. Switched out to the left-hand side to Yilmaz, who's very isolated on the left-hand side. Got Alistair Johnston chasing him down. He goes back here to Suter. Switched out to the right-hand side. What a ball that is. Straight to Tavernier. Good control. Pull back. It deflects off Greg Taylor. And that'll be a corner on the near side. Greg Taylor absolutely furious with the defensive work rate there of Mikey Johnston. As he's deflected that behind for a corner. As this is too hard and too difficult for some Celtic fans to take. They surely can't lose a 2-goal lead with a man extra. Tavernier, outswinger, far post. It goes all the way through in the end. And it'll be kept alive by McCausland as he kicks it back here to Yilmaz in the Rangers half. As he was being chased down there by Abada. Butland sends it back forward. It's a high ball. It's a long one. Out to the left-hand side to McCausland, who's battling with Johnston. Last touch off McCausland. And that'll be a goal kick for Celtic. Couldn't quite keep it in play there. The Rangers number 45, Ross McCausland, on his Old Firm debut as Celtic do play out from the back here. 2.5 minutes of the 8 added on played. So with Joe Hart in the 6-yard area. To the left centre half here of Scales. Back across it goes to Naroki, who gave away the free kick for the Rangers goal. Alistair Johnston at right back. Back into Naroki. Closed down by Dowell. Gets it back to Alistair Johnston. Into the midfield to McGregor. Short ball picked up by Yilmaz. Sterling. Midway inside the Celtic half. He's got McGregor on his tail. So he goes back to the halfway line here to Suter. Out to the left again to McCausland. He's got Yilmaz forward. He goes to Dowell inside. In the box. Goes for the shot. And it's so far over the crossbar. Really bad decision making there by Kieran Dowell, who went for the shot. And it went well over the crossbar when they had plenty of bodies in the box there. Dessers was there. Right. And Tavernier. I don't know if it's a miscued cross or a shocking shot. Whichever it is. It means Celtic are back in possession on halfway with McGregor. Switched out to the left-hand side here to Mikey Johnston. Running at Tavernier. Getting onto his right foot. Dribbling through. Edge of the box. Plays it through into the box. Towards Turnbull, who goes down under the challenge. And the referee waves it away. There was an offside flag anyway up on David Turnbull. I think it was a bit of a weak penalty shout anyway. I think Turnbull definitely were trying to ignite the contact there. Good run though by Mikey Johnston. Turnbull, God, it would have been close there. Really close on Yilmaz on the other side. But Turnbull went down far too easily there on the challenge from Tavernier. Nah, literally a hand on the back. I wouldn't count that as a push. And the decision is final. It's a free kick for offside. It's a high one, thump forward, headed away by Naroki. Helped away by Abada. Controlled here by Sterling in the midfield for Rangers, who's been pushed down by Turnbull with two hands. And that'll be a free kick for the away side as we've got 4 minutes to play here of the 8 added on. And even though they've got a man less here, Rangers, they are still well within this game. They've got a free kick about 10 yards inside the Celtic half. It'll be put into the box here by Tavernier. It's a high line from Celtic. He'll lift it towards the far post here. It goes off the head of Suter last. And that'll be a goal kick for Celtic. Couldn't quite head it back into the box there. John Suter. As O'Reilly's gone down. May have been caught again there, Matt O'Reilly, in the face of Suter. Oh, just a little hand in the face. Nothing much at all there for me. O'Reilly's slowing the game down, but the time will only be added on more. As in fairness, if that hand's gone back onto the O'Reilly nose, there might be more blood. He was caught in the face earlier on in the half by Sterling. And he might have been caught again here in the face. As this time will just be added on. As Celtic try and see out this one goal lead, it would put them 8 points clear at the top with 2 games in hand for Rangers. As he does like that hand in the face, has reignited the blood again down the nose and down the face of Matt O'Reilly. So we're going to have another stoppage here. It's an unneeded and unwanted nervy ending here for Celtic, who are looking for their second win on the bounce against Rangers. It'll be 3 games in a row winning here at Celtic Park from last season and this season. As we're going to get back underway, it'll be a Joe Hart goal kick. Just under 2 minutes of additional time to play, but we'll get another minute or so with that stoppage there from Matt O'Reilly. As Joe Hart sends it towards the Celtic right, headed forward by Suter. Can't be kept in for Rangers. It's going to be a Celtic throwing in their own half on the far side. Matt O'Reilly's been reintroduced again. This is Alistair Johnston with the throw. He's going to throw it long down the line, up towards O. Loses out to Suter. That's because he was fouled in the process. Free kick for Celtic, just inside the Rangers half on the far side. Minute of added on time to play. Be Alistair Johnston over it, the right back. I imagine how this game could have ended if Rangers had 11 men. Headed away by Yilmaz. Drops to Dowell. Forward. Only fires McGregor. His touch is heavy. Sterling picks it up in the midfield for Rangers. Gets it to the left back, Yilmaz. Down the line he goes for Dessers, who will chase it. As it will not stay in. Dessers had got in behind Naroki there in the box, but did look like the ball had gone out of play in fairness. Throw-in for Celtic. Midway inside their own half here. going to be taken by Alistair Johnston again. Into the Rangers half we go. Free kick here for Rangers. John Souttar. I think just getting a little bit of afters here. With Hyun-Gyu Oh. Galton trying to help him up. South Korean holding his face. Just a little bit of both there. I think the free kick was given for Rangers because Oh had a pull of his shirt. He's back to his feet now. As Souttar and Oh will have a word with the referee, Nick Walsh and Connor Galton. He's given out 2 yellow cards here. He's given 3 out. I think he's booked Souttar, Galton and Oh. They've all been booked for that little and Connor Galton now misses their next game against Hibs on the 24th. High ball forward. Headed in to the edge of the box by Souttar. Doesn't reach a Rangers player. Headed back forward though by Dowell. And once again by Dowell. Headed away though by Alistair Johnston. Controlled by Dowell. Cleared in the end for Celtic. Throw in for Rangers. We have played 9 extra minutes. 8 was added on. As McCausland throws it down the line. Comes off Turnbull. Spat to McCausland, who's just been dispossessed by Mikey Johnston. And he runs away with the ball. Plays it inside to his right here. To O. Who can't quite get away from Yilmaz. Really good tackle from the left back. And could Rangers get this forward? Galton. High ball. Up towards Dessers. Headed away by Greg Taylor. Towards the right-hand side here for Celtic. Alistair Johnson heads it back to Naroki, who then can eventually clear up the field. Galton heads it out to the right-hand side. Souttar lifts it out to the far side for Rangers. It comes off the head of Scott Wright. And out for a throw-in for Celtic. And as we're about to hit minute 100, it could be all done for Celtic to go 8 points clear in the Scottish Premiership. Despite Rangers having 2 games in hand, it's still a healthy lead to have, having the points on the board. Alistair Johnston with the throw-in. It's down to the referee when this game's up now. Header won by Goldson. And that'll be another throw-in for Celtic. Midway inside their own half on the far side. Alistair Johnston with the throw-in. It's a big one. Gets it into the Rangers half. Headed down by Galton. Picked up by Sterling in the midfield. He goes back to Yilmaz. Forward to Dessers. It's a high one. He gets away from Naroki. Then cleaned up by Liam Scales. It's going to be a throw-in for Rangers this time on the far side. Taken quickly by Yilmaz to Dowell. Galton on halfway. Ball forward. Headed away on the edge of the box for Celtic. Tavernier forward, headed away by Liam Scales, and that will be that in the Old Firm. Celtic win by 2-1. A first half goal from Paolo Bernardo and a second half goal by Kyogo gave Celtic their 2-goal lead. The game seemed to have been made easier for Celtic when they were given a red card for Rangers. Leon Balogun was sent off with 20 minutes to go, a last-minute challenge on Maeda. But somehow, with 10 men from a free kick, Tavernier put a beautiful ball into the top left corner to give Rangers a lifeline and made it really tense for the last 10 minutes of the game. But Celtic, with the extra man, was able to see the result through. And at Celtic Park, it ends Celtic 2, Rangers 1. Very tense ending. Very unnecessary tense ending there for Celtic, who was in absolute control of that game for the second half. Rangers was really poor second half. Before the red card, I thought they were really poor. But when they went down to 10 men, I think it helped them a little bit, really. Got back in the game with that free kick with 2 minutes of the 90 to play. Then we had 8 minutes added on. Then we played an extra 2 on that because Matt O'Reilly went down with bloody nose. And Celtic were a little bit edgy there, but the main result for them is the 3 points, 2-1. Rangers go on to stay on 43 points, Celtic on 51. So 8-point gap in the league, but as I've mentioned a few times, but I think it's really important to mention, Rangers do have 2 games in hand. So if they win those 2 games in hand, which is a big if, but if they do win those 2 games in hand, that gap goes to 2. So it is still tight if you include those games in hand, and if they're won. So that's on Rangers now. The pressure's on them to get the points on the board. But it's Celtic who have won the first 2 Old Firms of the derby. They won the first one at Ibrox by 1-0 through Kyogo, who scored a beauty of a goal in that one right on half-time. And he scored another absolute cracker today. Edge of the box, left-footed, top right corner. Butland got a hand to it, could not keep it out. It was an absolute firecracker of a shot from Kyogo. And he's now got 7 goals in 11 appearances now against Rangers. But all 3 goals were absolutely fantastic. It started with Paulo Bernardo for Celtic in the 25th minute. From a corner, the header away from Seamer wasn't good enough. Straight to Paulo Bernardo, who just behind the penalty spot was able to get his body over the ball and diverted a right-footed shot into the top right corner. It was beyond Butland in a flash. It was a really, really good finish from Paulo Bernardo, who's got goals in back-to-back games now for Celtic. They doubled their lead right after half-time, 47th minute. Kyogo with that beautiful strike into the top right corner beyond Jack Butland. And like I said, it looks like the game was an easy game for Celtic, and it was made easier with the red card of Leon Balogun with 20 minutes to go, a last man challenge on Dyson Maeda. But then it was made even harder somehow with a goal from James Tavernier with 2 minutes of the 90 to play to make it 2-1. A beautiful free kick from the edge of the area into the top left corner. Again, Joe Hart got a hand to that one, but he couldn't keep it out. And with a very tense last 10 minutes of the game in added on time, Celtic saw it through, and it is ended Celtic 2, Rangers 1. If you have enjoyed the commentary, make sure you like and subscribe. Great commentary. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. If you did enjoy it, make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. Another commentary coming tomorrow. It is Fulham against Arsenal in the Premier League. It's the last one for 2023. But if you enjoyed here, make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already. And at Celtic Park, it's party time in paradise for the home side. They get one against their rivals Rangers once again. And at Celtic Park, it ends Celtic 2, Rangers 1.